I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place, see what's good? It's the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe, your man's Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Let's get it. Blue tears, orange tears, blorange tears. Let's go. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scream. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Yo, if you hadn't already done so, make sure that you book your accommodations for Nothing But Knicks NBA Draft Party. It will be happening June 23rd and 24th. They have a live DJ, giveaways, door prizes, live games, and activities and such. That'll be brought to you by Nothing But Knicks and all that good stuff, right? All right. I think it's going to be a little contentious today, right? We might be a little bit contentious today. It's going to be a little bit. That's the word I'm looking for. We may have some beef today. We may have some beef, right? Let me find something real quick. Let me find something real quick. All right. I was looking for it. But oh yeah, let me do this. I keep forgetting. Yo, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, share with all your peoples, help grow the channel. I hadn't been saying that in a while, and I should be. And I should continue to do that. I don't know why I hadn't been doing it, but yeah. I'm looking for something, y'all. I got so much stuff going on here at the desk. Where is it? Oh, don't know what I'm thinking. Let me start with a quote from the great American poet Grand Poobah. And Grand Poobah says, "Now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books of rhyme concepts and hooks. Session to get thoughts with the blessing." All right. So I don't want to start a beef with anybody, right? I don't want to start a beef with anybody, right? But I don't like the Knicks backcourt. I don't. I don't like the Knicks' current backcourt. In today's NBA, you need a Steph Curry type player and or a John Morant type player and y'all said my mic is choppy. Hold on. My mic is choppy. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And or a Klay Thompson type player. And or a Jaylen Brown type player. And the Knicks have neither a Steph Curry, a John Morant, a Klay Thompson, nor Jaylen Brown. In our backcourts, we have ham sandwiches. And that's very good if that is Yogi Bear's picnic. But this is not Yogi Bear's picnic. There are no park rangers and there are no boo-boos. We have ham sandwiches. Kareem Grant was good. AJ Bula was good. JJ was good. Not Zay is in the building. Corey Lee was good. Almighty Finesse, I see you. Felipe 210 is in the building. Pudge Nice was good. Bodega Wi-Fi was good. Danny Landis is in the building. What's good? Mr. Vince, what's good? I see you. So here goes. If you want to win on a consistent basis, you have to have a Steph Curry type player, a John Morant type player, a Klay Thompson type player, a Jaylen Brown type player, to which the Knicks have neither. Right? Now, here's the data that supports where I'm coming from. I had it pulled up. I think I may have missed it. Let me see. I had it pulled up somewhere. Where is it? Aha, there it is. Here we are. Here we go. Is this the one I want to see, or did I close it? I hope I didn't close it. I think I may have closed it. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. This is what I want you guys to look at. Right? You see Oklahoma City Thunder, you see Detroit Pistons, you see Orlando Magic, and then you see New York Knicks. Right? 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 You see Oklahoma City, Detroit, Orlando, and New York. Right? Hold on. Hold on. All right. I tried to enlarge that, but it won't go. But anyway, you see here what I'm getting at. Right? So the Knicks have the 27th best field goal percentage from the floor. Right? The 27th best field goal percentage from the floor. Right? 27th best field goal percentage from the floor. Right? And instead of me mentioning this, what I wanted to do was make sure you saw the source of this information. So the source for this is NBA.com. So you know that this is not a made-up, configured status, right? You know this is not some configured, made-up stat. This is real, right? 27th best field goal percentage, right? '27th best. So what this tells me is the Knicks find it difficult to put the ball in the basket. '27th best. right? Trust says, stop saying 27 best. I didn't say 27 best. I said 27th best. Trust said, stop saying 27 best. I didn't say 27 best. I said 27th best. Right? So my point is, the Knicks have a difficult time putting the ball in the basket. Right? Right? From three, the Knicks are the 13th best team in terms of three-point percentage at 35.7. They're the 13th best. What I figured was, if you're not gonna be able to hit a large number of twos, maybe you can hit a large number of threes. But the Knicks are 13th best in terms of three-point percentage. Right? Right? 13th best. Right? Free throw percentage. This is easy. Free throw percentage. There are no defenders. No defenders, right? The free throw line doesn't move back and forth. The free throw line is stationary, and there's no defender. And the Knicks are 26th best in free throw percentage. Right? 26th best in terms of free throw percentage. Twenty-sixth. These are the players. These are the players now. These are the players. These numbers are attributed directly to the players, because there is no strategy for free throws. You go there, you shoot an uncontested shot, you're on your own. Right? You on your own. You are on your own. Free throws they have nothing to do with Johnny Bryant, Tom Thibodeau, the opposing coach, the opposing arena. One player takes a trip to the free throw line on his own, and the Knicks are 26th best at free throws. This has nothing to do with Tibbs, Leon Rose, James Dolan. This is on the players. Period. Period. This has nothing to do with veteran experience, rookie experience. There are no defenders. The Knicks are 26th in free throw percentage. Right? So Uncle Freezy is driving home the point that the Knicks can't shoot. Uncle Freezy is driving home the point that the Knicks can't shoot. Period. But here's the kicker. You can't shoot, right? You can't shoot from 2. You can't shoot from 3. You can't shoot from the free throw line. But here's the kicker. Right? Right? You can't shoot from 2. You can't shoot from 3. And you can't shoot from the free throw line. Well, at least you can pass, right? Wrong. If you can't shoot, at least you can pass, right? Wrong. If you can't shoot, at least you can pass, right? Wrong. Wrong. The Knicks are dead last in assists. Now, I said all of that just to say this. I mentioned all of that to say this. The Knicks have to blow up this backcourt and start all over from scratch. From scratch. The Knicks have to blow up this backcourt and start all over from scratch. Right? The Knicks have to blow up this backcourt and start all over from scratch. And honestly, I believe in all the years that I've been watching Knicks basketball, this may be the worst backcourt that we've ever had. And in all the years that I've watched Knicks basketball, this may be the worst backcourt we ever had. Ever. Since I've been watching the Knicks. Now, since you've been watching the Knicks, you'll have your own experience. And you may have your own worst backcourt that you've ever seen. Now, with that said, this backcourt at the same time may be one of the most beloved backcourts. Right? Just because you're not productive doesn't mean you're not loved. Just because you're not productive doesn't mean that people don't like you. Right? What I'm suggesting to you Knicks fans is this. To you, the Knicks fan, is maybe embrace blowing this backcourt up and starting all over from scratch. And here's why. Somebody convinced me into liking Obi Toppin. Right? People were like, hey, Uncle Freezy, stop calling Obi Toppin a dunk contest participant. He's more than that. Obi Toppin is more than a dunk contest participant. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the dialogue we used to have? Obi is more than that, man. If Obi just got minutes, if Obi just got such and such, if Obi, right? And I wasn't hearing it. And then there was a turn. And I started being open-minded about Obi Toppin. Right? My belief is if we had playmakers in the backcourt that could get Obi Toppin the ball, we may have never had that weird Obi Toppin conversation in the first place. If we had playmakers in the backcourt that could either shoot or pass, we wouldn't be having this conversation about does RJ Barrett deserve max money? If we had playmakers or shooting in the backcourt, we would not have this conversation of should we pay Mitchell Robinson? Because Jarrett Allen, without a point guard, looked like a first-round bust. Jarrett Allen with Darius Garland is an all-star. You tell me. Even if we had a playmaker in the backcourt that couldn't shoot, but was a high assist man and playmaker, would we have these conversations about Obi Toppin, Jericho Sims, Mitchell Robinson, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett? When I post these facts, what will happen is our love affair with the player will overrule what he does on the court. And I don't care. Because I feel like that about RJ Barrett. Right? I don't care what RJ Barrett's numbers say. I like RJ Barrett as a Knick. I do. And I get DM'd a lot. I get hit up a lot. I get text messages to the show phone, all that stuff about RJ Barrett is only 22. Happy birthday, RJ Barrett, by the way. Happy birthday, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is 22 years old. Happy birthday. I think today is RJ Barrett's birthday. Let me see. Let me check. Yep, there it is. RJ Barrett, born June 14th, 2000. Today is June 14th, 2022. Happy birthday, RJ Barrett. My deal is with our guys is our love affair with them overrules what they do on the floor. And I think we have to consider what we want more. Do we want to root for our favorite player? Or do we want a championship more? Do we want a young core to develop? Or do we want a championship? Because telling me developing this young core means a championship is irresponsible and dumb. We have to consider blowing it up. And I'm not picking on Quentin Grimes, and I'm not picking on Miles McBride, right? I'm not picking on Emmanuel Quickly, right? I'm not picking on Kemba, who I believe has got to get the hell out of New York. We got to get Kemba Walker off this roster. I don't mean him ill will, but he got to go. I'm not picking on Derrick Rose, who's fat and out of shape during the offseason. Right? Not picking on them guys. But what I will say is this. We don't have any dynamic playmakers in the backcourt, period. You don't have a 20-point per game scorer, or you don't have a 8, 9, 10 assist man. Right? You don't have a 20-point per scorer in the backcourt, nor do you have a high assist man. And to be honest, you don't have a 16-6 guy. We don't have a 15-5 guy. Don't have a 17-7 guy. We don't have any of that in the backcourt, right, on a nightly basis. So why keep on keeping on? Sherwin M, what's good? My deal is we have to go get that guy right away before this young core starts to develop bad NBA habits. Like Emmanuel quickly shooting a three-pointer over two defenders, double teamed from 26 feet away, shooting a three with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. That's a bad habit. Like Quentin Grimes not putting the basketball on the floor. Quentin Grimes not attacking closeouts. That's a bad habit. Like Miles McBride dribbling the air out of the basketball. Dribble, 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 dribble. Dribble, 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 dribble. Come on, Miles. Come on, Deuce. The Knicks need to get a guy or two or three in the backcourt right away. Pretty much. Bodega Wi-Fi is spot on, pretty much. I don't know if Steve Stout acquired him, but I can bet you Steve Stout made the push to go get him. We got to get Kemba Walker out of town, bro. Hurry up. I don't care if you cut him. Get him off the roster. JJ, listen, man, I agree with you. I'm with you. We need efficient players. But here's the thing. I think if you upgrade the backcourt, the efficiency of Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims, Cam Reddish, Farron Hunt, all those guys become more efficient. We have backcourt guys. We have backcourt guys that can't create shots for themselves. You saw the numbers. You saw the numbers. They can't create shots for themselves, and neither can they create shots for others. Sherwin M says McBride passes too much. He has the talent to drive to the rim and create fouls. The G League, he drives to the rim. In the NBA, he defers to IQ. Yeah, yep. I mean, well, yeah, I knew Sherwin M was going to come straight in the door, but like, whatever Uncle Freezy say, I'm going to say the opposite. Sherwin M was like, what did he say? Because whatever he said, I'm going to just say the opposite. No, I'm just Sherwin M. I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. In the G League, Miles McBride had carte blanche to do whatever he wanted to do. And at the big club, you just can't do that. Yeah, I feel you though. In the G League, he could just do whatever he felt like doing. Subliminal 209 says, or asks, who's the Knicks' best perimeter defender? Man, I don't even, man, look. Sub, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't want to hang my hat on that. Keeping it a buck. I don't want the consolation prize. Like, even though we suck, at least we play good defense. No, I don't want to. Nah, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even care. I don't even care, bro. You know what I'm saying? About defense or offense or whatever. Honestly, I just want to win. Right? Who the best defender is? I'm gonna say right now, Deuce McBride. I'm gonna say Deuce McBride because I know a lot of people want to say Grimes, but look at the raw data. Look at data when Grimes is on the floor. The Knicks are a worse team defensively with Grimes on the floor. With Quentin Grimes on the floor, the Knicks are a worse defensive team. Quentin Grimes has a negative net rating, right? I keep pointing that out, right? I keep pointing that out, but people keep saying they want Grimes to be a hero. They want Quentin Grimes to be the hero. Oh, Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes got my cat out of a tree. I saw Quentin Grimes one day help an old lady across the street. This one time I saw Quentin Grimes stop a bank robbery. Grimes is all right. He'll be good. Wow, food. I just got texted about snacks. Hold on. Y'all know I love snacks. I just got texted about food. Hold on. Wait a minute. Uncle Freezy loves snacks, y'all. You don't get ripped up like this guy if you don't like snacks. Yeah, bro. Hey, I love pistachios, man. I'm pistachioed out right now, though. Well, what I probably either get is popcorn with nothing on it, or probably get popcorn with nothing on it, just air popped popcorn, or popcorn with paprika and red chili flake, or popcorn and or cucumber slices, or roasted carrots. Like when you slice carrots evenly into circles and add a little vegetable oil and a dash of salt and pepper and shake it up in a bowl, and then lay them on a baking sheet and roast those jokers, bro. What? You be that old man walking in the gym and everybody be like, man, did you see what that old man did to that weight bench? Yeah, you'll be that guy. Mr. Vince, my big brother's in the building. Mr. Vince says, time's up on this backcourt. Get Ivy. Nobody is safe to trade up. I'm with you, Mr. Vince. I'm with you. Shout out to my big brother, Mr. Vince. And shout out to my older brother, Jay Boogie. He right here somewhere. Jay Boogie legit is only 25 years older than me. So that makes Jay Boogie about 78. Shout out to Jay Boogie, wherever you at. I know you listening, Jay Boogie. I know you listening somewhere. Hope you out there safe, man. You know, Jay Boogie out there doing his thing. So Jay Boogie, whatever you doing, man, just be safe. But shout out to my main man, Jay Boogie, my older brother, Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie is only 30 years older than me, so that makes him like 84. Yeah. Yo, shout out to Jay Boogie, wherever you at, Jay Boogie. But yeah, this backcourt, y'all. I've seen Knicks content creators, and I watch everybody, yo. I ain't gonna lie, or not watch them. Like, I don't study them or none of that stuff. But as I'm going about my day or something like that, like if I'm doing the Vibes and Stuff production, y'all check out Vibes and Stuff live in the mornings weekday mornings, 8 a.m.-ish to 9 a.m.-ish. This week we're doing 7:30-ish to 9-something-ish. So I check out a lot of Knicks content creators, right? So I'll check out Still Knicks fans, right? And Still Knicks fan says, yeah, I'm okay with moving on from the current construction of this backcourt, but I want Johnny Davis on this Knicks team, and this is exactly what I was going to get to. Right? So this is exactly what I was gonna get to. Johnny Davis ain't it. He's not. Johnny Davis is what you call more of the same. Right? The only thing better than one ham sandwich is multiple ham sandwiches, right? I don't eat ham. I don't eat pork. Right? The only thing better than one ham sandwich is multiple ham sandwiches. And shout out to my main man, Ron from Still Knicks fans. All it is a difference of opinion. It ain't like whatever. Right? All it is a difference of opinion. Like different ways to figure out the same problem. That's all it is. And shout out to Still Knicks fans. Congratulations for them for reaching like 12, I think it's like 13,000 subscribers or whatever it is. Man, shout out to them. They had a goal and they obliterated it. Shout out to them. Right? Shout out to Still Knicks fans, man. I'm proud of them guys, man. Proud of Ron and John and Jose. And I got his name right. I don't know where John has been. Rumor has it that John hit the number, that John hit the New York Lotto. That's why I hadn't been able to catch him, see him on stuff. But John, man, wherever you are, man, spend that money wisely. Enjoy yourself. Yo, Faultless Phil is in the building. And so Ron says, mark my words, when Johnny Davis balls out next year, we are going to revisit this take. Okay. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. When it comes to this stuff, we all know it's an inexact science. So say we get say the Knicks get an athletic freak that can create his own shot and make plays for others. Right? Say the Knicks get Shadon Sharp and he winds up being Anthony Edwards with a jump shot. Right? And say Johnny Bryant goes to San Antonio and puts up 13 points a game. I'm not going to laugh at, Johnny Davis. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, y'all know I'm not an ego guy like that. Right? I'm just not a ego guy like that. Some people want me to be that, but I can only be the best version of who I was meant to be. Right? So say if Johnny Davis doesn't pan out, I'm not the guy that's going to be like, see, I told you, I'm right. And that's not my thing. And a lot of people, not a lot, but some people behind the scenes want me to be that guy, and I'm not. That ain't me. But what you can bet on is I'm gonna be the best version of myself, and I ain't letting nobody force me to be nothing otherwise. Some people don't like it, and they can step off. But for the people that come here to watch Blowing Tears and stuff, the stuff I be like the things that I'm saying to you are the most honest things I can be. I ain't gonna try to be nobody else. I ain't with that. So with that said, I'm saying to Ron that if Johnny Davis is a good pro, okay. But what the Knicks need is not that, in my opinion. What the Knicks need is athleticism in the backcourt. Right? The Knicks need athleticism in the backcourt. Guy at work was like, but the Golden State Warriors backcourt ain't athletic. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. Trying to tell me because the Golden State ain't athletic. Get out of here. It's a damn lie. Okay, bitch. You want to sit here and tell me the Golden State Warriors don't have athleticism in their backcourt? You don't watch basketball. Right? And here's why. While Steph Curry is an average athlete at best, he is very agile. Is he explosive? No. Is he crafty? Yes. Is Klay Thompson athletic? No. Not only is Klay Thompson not athletic, he is coming off injury. So that means the athleticism he did have, it's not there. But let me ask you this. Is Gary Payton II athletic? Is Jordan Poole athletic? Is Moses Moody athletic? Y'all heard the question. Y'all heard my question. While Steph Curry is not athletic, he is dexterous and agile, though. Changes direction really good. Is he explosive? No. He is not. Right? But he can get to where he wants to on the floor. And doesn't always need screens either. He could do it with his handle. Is Klay Thompson athletic? No. Klay Thompson is unathletic, old, and coming off an injury. But is Gary Payton II athletic? Is Andre Iguodala athletic? Is Jordan Poole athletic? Is Moses Moody athletic? One could even offer this question. Would the Golden State Warriors have even made the NBA Finals without Jordan Poole? Would the Golden State Warriors have made the NBA Finals without Jordan Poole? Right? Now, is Quentin Grimes athletic? Is Alec Burks athletic? Is Evan Fournier athletic? Is RJ Barrett athletic? Is Kemba Walker athletic? Is Derrick Rose athletic? Can Evan Fournier shoot the three like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry? Can RJ Barrett shoot the three like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry? Can Quentin Grimes shoot the three like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry? Can Miles McBride shoot the three like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry? Now, I noticed I set the bar kind of high with those guys. Those two guys are probably a couple of the greatest shooters of all time. But since we were having the athleticism conversation, why change teams? Why not just use this one standard to measure what we have up against? Right? Instead of picking OKC's backcourt for playmaking, and then Portland's backcourt in terms of shooting, and then maybe Memphis's backcourt in terms of athleticism, we'll just stay in one place, all in one place. King Ribby says, stop it. Hey, man, listen, bro. I understand where y'all coming from. Listen, I'm a fan of the Knicks. I wear stuff like this every day. I wear stuff like this every day. I love the Knicks. And a dude was like, man, I watched about 3 of your shows and I couldn't take it. You sound like the Michael K for the New York Knicks. You sound like Michael K. What Michael K does for the Yankees, that's what you sound like for the Knicks. And so I was like, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. He's like, you sound exactly like what Michael K do to the Yankees. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Means I'm going somewhere. Means I'm going somewhere. Nemo said, yeah, that's the way I took it. I don't think he meant it that way, but that's the way I took it. You know how it is. Bricks Nation says, I predict Sharp will fall to 11, but I'm not sold on him at all. Would y'all take Sharp at 11? Yes. Yes. I would take him at 10 if I was the Knicks. I would take him at 9 if I was the Knicks. I would take him at 8 if I were the Knicks. I would take him at 7 if I were the Knicks. I would take him at 6 if I were the Knicks. I would take him at 5 if I was the Knicks. Now at 4, I'd have to take Jaden Ivey. Right? But y'all know this thing. I've been talking all year about, I've been talking since December maybe about how I like Benedict Mathurin. Y'all know I like Ben Mathurin. I have a puppy named Benny. Right? And it's coincidence. It's coincidence. Ben Mathurin is not the athlete that my puppy is. That my dog is. My dog is an athlete. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say, is this. What I will say is this. The Knicks are not in a position where they can't afford to gamble. This front office doesn't want to take chances. And in theory, I don't blame them. But as a Knicks fan, I blame them. So if I worked in that front office, I would not want to take risks, because risks speed up the possibility of your contract extension or your termination. If I was in that front office, I would be risk averse also, because the previous regimes either took too many risks or not enough risks, and they're all gone. Right? Somebody said salute J Boogie. J Boogie was in the chat. Hold on. I didn't know J Boogie was in the chat. Hold on. Let me put the thing out here for J Boogie. J Boogie. All right. So the thing with Shadon Sharp is this. You have to take a chance on this kid. Don't tell me you would rather take a chance on Quentin Grimes than Shaedon Sharpe. Because if that is your approach, you don't need a front office job. You don't. Especially with the Knicks. Joe Madden.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? What's up to the chat?
Good, man. I'm good. Hey, man. Joe, listen. I know you like old-timey basketball, right? I know you like old-timey basketball, and I'm probably describing it the wrong way. I know you like conventional. I know you like classic style basketball, right? Defense first. The point guard is the floor general.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but listen, man, listen. That don't work for us in today's NBA. That's not gonna work, bro.
Oh no! In today's NBA, no, you need versatility. You need versatility, especially now on the defensive end. You need guys that can guard all 4 or 5 positions.
Right.
These guys that are on the floor, like that's guys like Quickly that can only guard maybe 1-2 positions. It's no good in a playoff series. It may be good for 82 games, but when you're deep in a playoff series or even in the first round, it's no good. You need guys that can divert, and that's the problem with the Knicks. It's too one-dimensional. We have too many guys on both ends of the floor. It's just too one-dimensional. No versatility.
Yep. You're exactly right. Grimes offensively is one-dimensional. Right? He's got to surprise people in order to get his other skills off. Like,
see,
you remember the Wizards defensively?
No, I'm saying with Grimes, the thing is defensively he's fine, but offensively he's a chucker. He's like Buddy Hield to me. He's stand in the corner, can lights up and drop 30 in a game, but if the 3 ain't falling, there's no mid-range. He can't get to the basket. He's a bad handle.
Yep. And he's slow.
And he was supposed to be a point guard going into college. And now you see there's a reason why Kansas let him go. And he went to Houston and changed position to a wing, to a 2 or a 3, because it wasn't a point guard.
He was supposed to be the next. And I know, and listen, I'm going to say this, and people are going to laugh now. But coming out of high school, he was a what am I saying? It must be snack time. But anyway, Quentin Grimes was a higher regarded prospect than Zion Williamson, right? The pecking order was R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, and I think Darius Garland, but I think he kept getting hurt. I think Garland kept getting hurt in high school and in college. It's the reason why he slipped. And then Zion was an undersized power forward that could just jump. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of his senior year, or the end of his junior year in high school, he became a phenom, right? A phenom, right? By the time he got to Duke, he was considered, by the time the season started at Duke in earnest, Zion was considered generational. Jay, what's good?
What's going on, Freeze? How you?
I'm mad at this backcourt, bro.
You know what's funny? I'm part of the replay gang, so I usually catch your shows afterwards, and I catch myself arguing with myself with all the points come across.
Right.
I don't understand why everybody's mad that you call Quentin Grimes a ham sandwich. I don't get it. You know what Quentin Grimes is with elite measurables and elite athleticism? A top 10 pick, Ben Mathurin. Am I wrong?
I'm with you.
That's the difference between these players.
Right.
And I find it so hard to believe that everybody's so afraid to, let's say someone comes knocking at your door and include Quentin Grimes in the draft and a pick to move up. I can find Quentin Grimes every year in the draft. And I go down the list. It's Cam Thomas, who killed us in the Garden, one spot start, went right back to the bench. We could have had, there's the Desmond Bains of the world. Even the same thing can go with Quickly. You think anybody's really gonna talk about quickly if you had Trey Mann on your team?
No.
If you had Bones Highland on your team? Oh, quickly's doing something nice in Denver. We just love these guys because we love our babies.
Because they're Knicks. Yeah.
Yeah. We love
No,
our
it's
babies.
because the organization never hold on to draft picks. For now, one regime is holding on to draft picks. So then the fan base is afraid to lose any little. Like I hear McBride, people talk about wanting to hold on to Mitch. Oh, give him the 15, give him 17. Oh, you got to hold on to him, and we got to give McBride minutes. He could be our next starting point guard. And I'm like, listen, these are below average players. There's a reason why the two guys were second round picks. Like, right. It could be talent down the line, but right now they're not what we need. There's a reason. Like, these coaching staff see it, but we overanalyze and we look at our players. We either look so down on them, like they're looking at Julius right now, and then we're looking up on these young guys that are average. Right. There's a reason we're the only fan base that is, look at our young core, and every other fan base is like maybe we have 1-2 pieces, and that's it.
I see it like this. I'm not saying Quentin Grimes is bad. I really like Quentin Grimes, but you put Quentin Grimes on Boston, he shines. You put Quentin Grimes in the Warriors, he's a ready-made player to win. So if someone wants to tell me, I need Quentin Grimes for you to get the elite talent, hey, listen, you get elite talent in the trade or in your lineup, that's what wins in the NBA. I can't keep holding on to mediocre players when I don't have the talent to make those guys shine even more.
Right.
That's where I'm at right now. So I am not afraid to trade Quentin Grimes today if I get JD9, because guess what? Next year when I have a lower pick, I can find me another Quentin Grimes, and that'll be the new baby for the Knicks.
Yeah. And even you have the Dallas pick next year. You can't tell me next year's Dallas pick or with all the second rounders you find. If you trade a Quentin Grimes, you can't find a 6'5" 3-and-D guy that can defend and hit threes. You'll be able to find them in the beginning of the second, late first next year. You find them in free agency. It don't cost that much. Yep. But elite talent, you don't find it. You don't get it on the market unless it gets out, and you have to give up heaven and earth to get it. And you don't get it in the draft unless you're picking up high.
Right. We need elite guys in here to win. That's pretty much it.
I think that the only difference between Quentin Grimes and MJ Walker is Quentin Grimes blew away his combine when the Knicks contingent was on the sideline. Right? Say, for instance, in that game, it was just about right time, right place. Right? Because think about it. If that was Usman Garuba right there, I think the Knicks would have took Usman Garuba right there. Right? So say just name any draft. If that was any draft pick after Quentin Grimes, say if that was Herb Jones that was playing, that was on the court when the whole Knicks contingent was there, and the Knicks were on, and Thibodeau was on NBA TV, I think the Knicks would have took that guy.
Oh, you're gonna hear how Thibodeau likes him, his length, his defensive potential, compared to what he had, Snell, Brewer, all this stuff. You start making the connections.
Well, Herb Jones wouldn't have been a bad pick. He has elite defensive potential. Like, he's probably going to be the starting wing, probably at the 4 for the Pelicans, who could be, if Zion's healthy, a championship contender or at least a good playoff push team.
Well, Zion will start at the 4, but Herb Jones will definitely be in rotation.
Well, yeah, that's true, because you have Ingram too. Herb Jones probably the bench, but he'll be a key piece because that defense.
Yeah, because they'll start McCollum at the 2, Ingram at the 3, Zion at the 4, Valanciunas at the 5, and then all their young guys will come off the bench.
What they could do, what they done a lot last year, was they put CJ at the 1 and they had Herb Jones at the 2, and they had a long lineup. They could look at doing that, and that defensive team. You're looking at CJ, and then you're looking at Herb Jones, Ingram, Zion, Valanciunas. It's a big team.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of teams are translating to, and the Knicks need to look into it, like these early second round picks, late first round picks. Like, we seem to be going for 6'4", 6'5" guys. We need to be looking at guys 6'8", 6'9",
right,
that can defend, because we have none of that.
You know what sucks about this
Mr. Rivera is in the building. What's good?
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
I was saying, you know what sucks? That all the wings in this draft are all 6'5", 6'6", really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I would not be hurt if the Knicks trade the 11 pick for a second-year point guard,
I'm not.
or trade some of those trade 2 second-round picks to Atlanta for Sharif Cooper.
Yo, I was
I would.
thinking about that. I just didn't. I didn't think anybody would like that. Because he's not gonna do anything behind Trae Young. It's almost like Obi and Randall.
Right.
You're not gonna see what he got.
Right. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be. I would understand. Like at 11, man. Out of this draft, I think the Knicks. And make sure y'all check out Sim's second annual draft party too, by the way. But and I will be there. But the thing is I don't want to go to that draft party and then find out the Knicks package that pick and Nerlens Noel for something stupid. You know what I'm saying? And then the narrative will be, well, the Knicks did this in a money saving move for free agency in such and such year. See,
2023.
yeah, then we all be mad, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, to me, if they were able to trade back like into the 20s and pick up a first for next year, or even trade out and get a top 5 or top 7 protected, or even if we're at 11, so like a top 10 protected next year pick from somebody, I would take that and have no problem with it, because you're looking at that draft having 3 firsts in a deep draft where you can move up heavy. Like, you could give up all 3 picks and get up into the top 4, top 5 for Scoot Henderson if you need be. Then you have other point guards. You have that Anthony Black. You have some other guys there. So you're looking at a deep draft. So if they kick the can down the road, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad either, as long as they have
The team I'm circling to do that with is OKC. They have 20 draft picks in the next 4 years.
They love.
See, what I could see OKC doing is they had 30. I think they traded it yesterday evening, but they have 12. They have a bunch of seconds, and they have all their future first. I could see them, if Sharp falls to 7 or 8, I could see them moving up to Portland at 7 and taking Sharp. Them coming out of the draft with Chet Holmgren and Sharp.
I wouldn't mind moving back with them and picking up another first for next year, whether it be protected or not, and figure it out for me to get Trae Man in house.
Right. Hey, y'all, let me do this super chat real quick, y'all. Kaiser Sauce, the usual suspect, says, you old guys never want to see a young player take time to develop. Y'all the type of fans that make this team trade picks for the last 20 years. Nope. That's not what I'm saying.
The fam, that stake there is, if the front office the last 20 years have been listening to the fan base and been trading picks, that's on them. That's stupidity that the front office is listening to the fan base. So right. You can't blame the fan base for a team trading picks.
And I'm gonna speak for the old guys. So as somebody that's speaking for the old guys, as one of the old guy in the old guy contingent, I'm saying that this player that is about to turn 22 does not present the upside of these 2 kids in the draft that are 19. So what I'll say to that, what Kaiser Sauce just said, is unfair to the old guys, because we have a guy on the roster that's 22, right?
How dare you say that about
and we're saying package the picks together to go get a guy that's 19. Right? We're saying go get Shaedon Sharp, go get Ben Mathurin. I think they may be 20, something like that. But they're still older than Grimes. They're still younger than Grimes. They're still younger than McBride. Right? Who I like. I like McBride. Right? But so what I'm getting at is I'm not saying throw away the kids. What I'm saying is they just not it. And let me read the super chat from Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar says, we ain't letting anyone go until we see them whole. And I feel you on that. And that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that, because we got to stop.
If we see them whole. We might not see them all. Like you're thinking about they're gonna have to consolidate. So the one or two of them young guys like McBride or Grimes could be gone. Quickly, Grimes could be gone.
Right. Hey, it's me. You are part of the old man contingent. If you 45, if you 40 and up, you part of the old man contingent. So yeah, welcome to the club.
I just don't understand why everybody's afraid to upgrade. I just don't get it. We're afraid to upgrade.
Yeah, but we can't like really call what like Grimes or anything is just yet, or not off of one season. I could see if this was going into his third season, and it's what then he's not really showing what we thought he could be, but it's his first season. We can't really call it yet. I don't know what he's gonna be.
It's not about. I don't think it's about calling it. It's about like the way I put it down before. If Quentin Grimes had elite athleticism, he's pretty much Ben Mathurin. You have such a higher upside with Ben where you can work with him and stuff he does, Grimes could never do just because he's missing that one elite trait. And they both can shoot the ball. That's just the difference. We need elite traits, elite guys with elite traits, elite talent to win in the NBA.
If RJ Barrett was an above average athlete, just above average, we could compare him to Zach LaVine. Are you kidding me? If we think about if RJ Barrett was, say, not a great athlete, but very, very good.
Yeah.
We could compare him to Zach LaVine. That means all those trips to the basket where RJ Barrett is getting to the basket just off sheer will right now, a good athlete is dunking on people finishing at the basket. Right? Like Anthony Edwards is an elite athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
If RJ Barrett was a good athlete, we can compare him to Anthony Edwards with all the abilities that he has right now without athleticism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I get it.
But the thing with RJ is though, RJ, he doesn't know how to use his size. He doesn't have the great athleticism. You have a lot of these great players. Like I look at Luka, for example. Luka is 6'6", 6'7". But he's strong. But how does he win? He wins through craft and skill. RJ needs to start developing moves and skill instead of being like one-trick pony. Like he needs to start getting in the post a bit more, having a bit of a post-up game. He needs to He needs to start getting more crafty. Everything's a simple finish. Like we've seen that progress this year. You've seen him get better with some of that stuff. He just needs to get a lot better with it.
Yeah, I think that'll come. I think you'll probably see more of that this year and going forward. His footwork and stuff like that. I think that because one thing about RJ, he is a hard worker. He be in that gym. So, I don't know what he's doing then. I don't know what he's doing this offseason.
He's playing for Team Canada, so I don't know how much work he's really going to be putting in.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Drew Hanlon, they have a workout schedule for every summer. And this summer, RJ Barrett is working on movement 3-pointers, like creating his own 3-pointers off the dribble. Last offseason, he was working on his handles in the pick and roll. And the summer before that, he was working on his 3-point shot. And this summer he's working on movement 3.
DeMar DeRozan, I think, too. He was going to work out with him a little bit on working in the mid-range.
And talk about Team Canada real quick. As a fellow American, Team Canada is scary with all those young guys they got. They are very scary.
Right, including Ben Mathurin.
They're putting out somebody every year. Yeah. Every year there's like a close to an all-star caliber player coming out of the draft.
I think Shea and RJ and Jamal Murray playing this year. I believe.
And Nickel Alexander-Walker.
Jesus Christ.
They have a lot of Canadians, bro, and Chris Boucher, I think. They have a lot of those young Canadian dudes, man.
That'll be interesting. I don't know if Shaden Sharp's playing this year. He got the draft.
Hey, guess what Shaden Sharp is from?
Yeah, Canada.
You know, it's crazy. I saw RJ in a picture with him, like, and Carlos Boozer the other day. I'm like, what are they trying to do? Recruit?
That was AJ Griffin.
Oh no, yeah, AJ Griffin. Yeah. I'm getting ready to say, what are they trying to say? Recruit?
Maybe it's a Duke thing. I don't know.
It's probably a Duke thing.
Maybe it's a Duke thing. Hold on, y'all. Let me bring in my older brother. My older brother. Let me bring him in real quick.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he podcasting.
What?
I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sales was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears.
Yo, what's up, boss?
Yo, what up? What up with the peoples, man? How everybody doing, man? What's going on, man? Shout out to everybody up on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, yo, Joe Madden. Yo, Madden.
What's up, bro?
Yo,
How you
I
doing?
must say, yo, when you came on this show and you opened up with whatever you opened up with, boy, you was on fire. Yo, I was like, yo, this dude here is not joking. Right there. What's good with y'all people, man? How y'all doing, man?
I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
Good.
we good. Hey, man, we got Don P, we got Jay, we got Mr. Rivera in the building.
man, I ain't
We got
calling
Joe,
Don
man.
P no more Don P until he send me my bottle.
Bim.
What's good, G?
It's good with it, man.
Problems, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Jay, and so Jay Boogie, I don't know if you heard, but I was all right. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to start a beef, right? Y'all know the quote from the great American poet, may he rest in peace, Prodigy, when Prodigy said, "There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook, and everybody know the rest of that, right?
Right.
Right. One of the dopest beats I ever heard in my life, and one of the greatest verses I ever heard in my life, right? But I do believe if we don't upgrade the backcourt, we got to get rid of Kemba, right? We got to get rid of D Rose, and I like D Rose, right? But if we don't upgrade the backcourt, we won't be able to unlock the potential of the young guys we have on the roster. We can't play Alec Burks and Quentin Grimes together. You feel me? Like how does Alec Burks help Quentin Grimes get better? Right? How does Kemba Walker help RJ Barrett get better? Who out of all those guys we named can help Obi and Jericho Sims get better?
Well, I agree. I think most of that goes. D Rose would be the one I would keep. Well, it all depends on how. If we move up for Ivy, I'm keeping D Rose. If you drop Jaden Ivy, you keep D Rose because Ivy's like a clone of Rose to me. So you keep D Rose. I agree. The rest of the vets, I think Fournier, Burks, Noel, Kemba, they all need to go. You all need to be moved in some way, and we have a bunch of second-round picks. If you've detached a second-rounder or two to some of these guys to move them, do it.
Right.
So, Uncle Freeze, I think you're talking more towards like a point guard, right? We need more of a point guard than any two guard. Because if anything, we need to cut off the twos that we have more so than add any twos. We got solid pieces at the two position.
No. I first of all, let me say this. Hey man, salute to the chat. Y'all are on fire with the comments. There were like 20, 25 comments that I wanted to get to and talk about, but the conversation is moving so fast, and y'all know how I am. When somebody say something smart, I want to highlight it, but I can't get to them because the chat is on fire, right? But listen, I'm gonna try to incorporate some of those things. I won't be able to catch all 20, 25, 30 of them, right? But what I will do is try to catch like 3 or 4 of them and chop it up about them. But let me first address the super chat. Paris Douglas says the core is better playing together than individual. Now, and Paris Douglas, I understand that, right? But listen, what I'm saying is that works in theory, right? But how does Alec Burks make Obi Toppin better? Alec Burks is under contract with the Knicks, right? How does Nerlens Noel make Miles McBride better?
Take him to the salon where he get his hair braided.
That's about it. That's about it. And maybe take him to the shoe store, because Nerlens Noel's, hey man, Nerlens Noel's sneaker game on game day be fire. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. Now,
yo, he be wearing them shoes where he be trying to get an injury though.
Yeah, he be with the low top Gucci slippers.
I never seen nobody trying to get an injury so they can sit down.
So he can sit down and wave at his son all game. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just joking.
But so my point is say if we keep Kemba and say Kemba stop being that guy in the locker room, he mad because he ain't getting the playing time and he getting snatched and all that stuff. How about Kemba? Just man, listen. Jay Boogie, listen, man. You swayed me about Obi. I can admit that. Right? I can admit that. Y'all swayed me about Obi. Right? But here's the thing that frustrates me. How does Alec Burks make Obi Toppin better? How?
He don't.
By being cut off.
So why is he here? I don't get it.
Only people that can answer that: Leon Rose, Thibodeau, and God.
So let me ask you this, Uncle Freezy. Alec Burks, you know, he's a two, right? He's out of position playing at the one. We have 4 shooting guards on our squad already. Why is the narrative among most Knicks fans drafting at the 11th spot is picking somebody like Johnny Davis? Because Johnny Davis is not going to make Obi better neither.
I kind of disagree with that.
How so?
Because he's a ball. He does a lot more. If you bring Johnny Davis in right now, he's automatically, well, depends how you look at RJ. I look at RJ probably this season coming up and playing the 3. But automatically, day one, even with Fournier and Burks, Johnny Davis is your best shooting guard on the roster. From day one as a ball handler. Because none of these guys can handle the ball. He can handle the ball. We've seen him do it in Wisconsin. Now, when he comes to the NBA, it's going to be a lot less of a load because he's going to have players around him. And that's why I think he's going to be a better playmaker because of that. So to me, like, he's not a point guard. He's a 2 and can play some small ball 3. But to me, he's automatically going to be way better than half these guys on the team. Like, you could run the offense through him and through RJ if you want. Like, him on the floor brings that extra ball handling, and it does make Obi better. It makes it a lot better than having Fournier or Burks on the floor.
And here's when I disagree with. I don't think that Johnny Davis is a better shooter at the 3 than Quentin Grimes. And on top of that, we're talking about having yet another person who needs the ball in his hand in order to thrive. So that makes him, RJ, how's the ball going to move? And we still don't have a guy.
Well, to me, with Johnny Davis, I disagree with the shooting. Johnny Davis is a better shooter. The thing is, Quentin Grimes is a stand and catch shooter. He can do nothing off the dribble or very few off the dribble. And most stuff with Johnny Davis has been off the dribble. He's shown very little catch and shoot because everything went through him in Wisconsin. That's why he said, like, his 3-point numbers were down and his efficiency was down because most of his shots were coming with him with the ball in his hands. He had nobody playmaking for him. So that numbers and everything's going to work out better when he has somebody beside him that can playmake like RJ, like Julius.
So do you think that Johnny Davis will be that much more better than RJ and Quentin Grimes?
I think he's doing better than Quentin Grimes day one.
Was he better?
He's going to be better than Quentin Grimes day one. RJ is probably going to play the 3. So you could play the two of them. To me, what it should be, the two of them playing together. I think RJ and Davis could be a very good tandem together. Your two good wings. Problem is, maybe it's a little bit small.
Yeah, and that's what I take issue with, because we all know that RJ is kind of out of position playing the 3. And if we're gonna invest in anything in RJ, wouldn't it be best to put him in a position to succeed, which is put him in his natural position, which is the 2?
No, to me, I don't think he's a 2 because he can't shoot. You can't have a shooting guard that can't shoot.
I agree with that.
To me, like RJ can play. You can put him at the 2 and the 3. I don't see there's a big issue with him playing the 3. Honestly, like I see people say putting him at the 2 maybe a little bit better because of his size. He'd be able to bully the smaller guards. But I have no issue with him playing. If the best players available is on the board, I'm not going to move RJ. I'm not going to build this team just the way in RJ's position. I want to build a team with RJ. But if I know RJ can play 2 different positions, and at times we've seen him play small ball 4.
Yep.
So
the Miami game, in the Miami game, he plays.
There was quite a bit down the stretch they started using him. Julius at the 5, him at the 4.
Yep.
So
even Obi at the 5. They played Obi at the 5.
And it was Obi at the 5 too. Yeah.
And like PG-13, he plays the 2, he plays the 3, he plays the 4. So there's a lot of guys that's switchable.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett ain't a PG.
Nah, but I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying like
he's just like the size. He's at what, 6'8"?
Yeah, I'm not comparing it to. I'm just saying like it's a lot of stars that can play 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. They play.
I would. But let me offer you this, because this is the conversation that we keep avoiding, right? I think I asked Joe this yesterday or maybe last week. Do you want a conventional point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center lineup, or do you want to play a morphed type positionless offense with everybody being a playmaker? And a classic example of who runs that, Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets have a center that can play, make, pass, shoot, dribble from his position, and everybody around him plays multiple positions. You know what I'm saying? I think if you go with the classic point guard plays point, 2 guard plays 2, and some 3, then you find yourself having to find the perfect fit for that system. Whereas if you just get elite basketball players, regardless of size, and put the emphasis on wingspan as opposed to height, I think you put yourself in a position where you can have guys play 1 through 4 and even defend 1 through 4. Kind of like what New Orleans does with Trey Murphy III and Herb Jones. Like Trey Murphy III plays 2, 3. He guards 2s, 3s, 4s. Same thing with Herb Jones, and they don't have a defined position on offense. Their definition is get open. If you have an open shot, take it. Shoot the 3, pass. Right? And so I'm asking you guys right now, do you want to go with the classic defined roles or the positionless roles?
I think the positionless would be better.
I could do all types of multiple things. You know what I'm saying? That's just a deadly squad. Whereas at any point in time during the game, I can answer whatever is being asked during the point in time of that game than just to be the normal point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. That's why I liked the Clippers so much. Until Kawhi got hurt, they was getting ready to demolish this league last year and this year. Because they could put 5 guys that can play defense everywhere. All of them could dribble the ball, and all of them get their own shot. And they all could get back and recover off and switch defense. That's the type thing that I would like for us to be going down. You know what I'm saying? And for us to start building towards multiple guys that can do multiple things. You know what I'm saying? We don't have too many guys on our squad that's good. Some of them is just barely being good at one thing, and damn sure ain't good at doing 2 and 3 different things,
Two or three different things.
And just listening, and you know what I'm saying? The Don P and Madden, they going back to back, with great topics, I just find that it is so sad when they was talking about RJ going back to playing the 3, or this person can play the 3 and all that, and we not even mentioning Cam, man. We not even mentioning.
That's what I wanted to touch on.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
I just don't believe he'll be here. I think with too much of the rumors with Thibodeau, if they're going to keep Thibodeau for another year, keep him happy or whatever, Cam, I don't think Cam's a trade chip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm knowing and understanding that, but I'm just saying it's just so sad. But for somebody to be, have his talent, his athleticism, and he could be so much of a benefit to us. And we also gave away a number one for this guy.
And that's the thing. The number one was that weird draft the wing. He's 6'8", like he's the part. Well, we're talking about like the size. Like I talk about bringing in like a Davis or Mathurin. Their guy's 6'5", 6'6". You already have Cam, who can do some of the stuff they can do, a little bit more raw, but he has the size, and that's what annoys me. Is like you brought him in, he was perfect for this team at the wing, and I just don't believe I want him to be here. I want him to start day one. I just don't believe with Thibodeau it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen. I'm just talking about the sadness of him. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad that because when I look at Cam. When I watched last night game and I see Wiggins, I think about, damn, why Cam is not with? Damn, Cam. That's where I'm at. And we can't get that.
I honestly think Cam is going in that. If they make a trade with the Kings to get the 4th pick, I think Cam is going in that deal. I think Cam will be one of the big pieces that they will want at that wing position for the Kings anyway. I think Cam will be in that deal.
Yeah. Right. Even if there's any deal, like any sort of consolidation, isn't it not just moving up? Even if it's for a point guard or for somebody else, I think Cam's going to be moved.
Yeah, because he's like a premier piece in the NBA. Like he's almost like you need that 6'8" wing guy to succeed in this league. So I think, if we don't,
apparently the Knicks don't. Apparently we're good enough that we don't need them.
We don't need. We didn't need. Apparently the Knicks didn't need anything for the last.
Oh yeah, we don't need anything. We have anything with our 6'4", 6'5" guards that can't shoot off the dribble.
Yeah, we don't want to pay for anything. We don't want talent. We don't want nothing.
Nah.
And see, that's the thing with Cam Reddish. I want to say that if we all in agreement that we in a talent acquisition phase, I don't even think we can even entertain trading a talent like Cam Reddish, who's still on his rookie deal. I mean, if everything is going by that logic, like I said in the chat last time, they would have traded away Stephen Curry when he was having a chronic ankle injury.
They tried, though. They tried.
I mean, but what if they did?
Like Milwaukee turned down his stuff because of his ankles. Steph Curry just told that story this week.
Yeah.
They let him know that he was going to be traded, and then Milwaukee came back and said his ankles, he'll never play 2 or 3 more years. And Milwaukee,
look at him. I'm just teaching being patient with the people who actually got talent on our team. You know what I mean?
Imagine him and Giannis.
Yeah, they would win every year.
Yeah. Hey, let me do this. Just somebody got something playing in the background.
It's not me, sir.
I'm muted more. Can you?
Somebody got like a TV or something playing in the background. Hey, let me do this. Just
somebody listening to this on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Hey, Ozzy, that's you. Hey, can you turn?
That's me.
Yeah. Hey, so let me do something real quick. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says RJ is an all-star if he plays defense and hits 82% from the free throw line. Them. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And somebody got a tea kettle
going. Yeah.
Busting.
Hey, yo, real quick, man. Shout out to RJ, man. Happy birthday. I'm glad you hit 22. Because I don't want to hear nobody else say no more. He only 21. Man, so what? You got the rock. You got the ball. Hope you're getting your game up to 22 during this offseason. When you get up in here this year, I need to see it. And shout out to this is shout out from Sergeant Nick, from him to all of y'all. He said, "What up? He doing? You know what he doing? He don't move from doing 12 hours a day to 16 hours a day. He's still out there in Kansas. So I told him make sure he buy me another Jayhawk jersey.
Oh God, dog.
You had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Get
I
me a
had to put that in
souvenir.
there. Man in the building.
Uncle Ron, tell him get me a souvenir.
You had to hurt me with that one.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas, man? Shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm telling y'all like this. I'm not trading Cam Reddish. Period.
Preach.
Cam Reddish, to Jay Boogie's point, think about what you gave up on. It wasn't just a first-round pick. You gave up a guy you drafted in the first round as well. So essentially, you gave up 2 first-round rounders.
Ron, stop.
I'm not moving Cam.
Kevin Knox wasn't worth the first-round pick. He was untradeable.
Hey, you're missing the facts, Joe Madden. I expect you to do that. The fact is, gave up a number 1 and a guy we drafted with our number 1 pick. So it's essentially 2 number 1s. So you don't make a move like that and then you give up on a guy and you ain't even got a chance to play him. If anything, I'm gonna give up on the coach before I give up on him.
Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact right there, man. Like,
And you just said that though. Big homie said that about we on talent acquisition, but yet we haven't been developing our talent. Somebody's echoing. It's not me.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah, man.
The thing with Cam is, though, they're going to have to, not this year, they're going to have to pay him. So that's the thing. It's like,
I think that's the thing, though. Because of Cam's injuries, we can negotiate with him. You feel me? Like, that's like a worker who's always tardy or he's always asking for work, but he's commanding this big raise. You see what I mean? With a talent like Cam Reddish, you can negotiate with a player like that.
Man, I'm just noticing who this is. This Mr. Ossie. What's going on, man? Man, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, Jim.
Yeah, man, good to see you. Hey, you know we got to pull that banner up there for you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm still hoping that this can happen one day.
Yeah, am I the only one echoing?
Something new.
Yep, I think that's.
Yeah, that's you, man. You
all right, I'm gonna turn it on, man. Come back in.
You out there in the park with the turntables, the echo chamber, and everything, man.
Echo chamber.
All right, yeah.
OC.
What's up, Jay Boogie?
What's good, boss?
Nah, I saw the echo.
Yeah, that's an echo somewhere.
I got to, my brother. Got to find something to do, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell y'all, man, the Knicks just need to keep acquiring talent. That's the only way we're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Period.
So Ron, let me say this right quick to everybody. Man, somebody got me on. I could hear the echo. I sound like Melly Mel. Echo chambers in the building. Y'all hear it? Y'all hear the echo?
I tell you what, Freak, I'm gonna mute myself, see if it goes away.
Okay. Yeah, I was muted the whole time.
Yo.
It
disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah.
It disappeared.
What about now?
Yo.
I think now we good. Okay. But what I want to say to the Cam Reddish thing is a lot of Knicks content creators, man. And what I realized over time is that we as Knicks content creators have a lot of cachet, a lot of gravitas, right? And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not, right? And so the thing with a Cam Reddish deal is, we have to see what we have in Cam before we ship him off.
Absolutely.
Right. I don't think it's fair. Rob, what's good? I don't think it's fair to say no. Hold on to Grimes. Hold on to McBride. Hold on to Sims. Let's see what we have. And then when it comes to Cam Reddish, have a different feeling because we didn't draft him. And the sad thing is no matter how good a player is, if we didn't draft him, we don't feel the same about them. They're not homegrown. And so a lot of times we throw the Julius Randles, the Cam Reddishes, the players that we acquire in free agency, like the Fourniers, we throw them in this weird bag of if the ship is sinking, whoever's not homegrown is the first to go. Right? I don't know how comfortable I feel with that. I feel like Cam Reddish is physically more gifted than any other players that we mentioned. Right?
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Yeah.
And we're having a conversation, and we're having a conversation about acquiring physical talent. And Cam Reddish is one of the most physically gifted players in the NBA. Now, in terms of motor and you know what I'm saying, producing it often and consistency, he ain't that. And we know that. And Atlanta know that. And Cam Reddish know that. Right? But we owe it to ourselves to at least give this kid a shot to see if he can do what it is that his skill set says he can do.
Okay,
when you look at his skill set,
when you saying that we owe it to him to give him his shot, all right? What is his shot on this team?
he got an opportunity to be the small forward. That's what they brought him here for. He got an opportunity to be that guy. And
so
I
you
say
know
this
that
for
moves
Cam Reddish.
RJ, right?
I would move RJ back to the 2. That's really, I don't like RJ playing small forward.
You got Grimes, you got RJ at that 2.
Well,
now
somebody gonna have to move.
Hey, look,
Cam Reddish need to be
Ron,
playing that 3.
I agree 100% with what you're saying.
Hey, how you doing, Rob? Rob, how you doing?
Baby, you going to Vegas with me?
Oh, I'm there already.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I see you out there then.
Nah, I ain't there yet, but I'm there. I'm already paid for. I'm already there.
Look, I see you in Vegas, baby.
That's what's up, man. We gonna have a good time.
Boy, we should have planned this. Where you staying at?
Anytime you need a payment.
I'm getting ready to do mine today. I was trying to get the program together.
Okay, I'll call you.
All right, call me. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but with that Cam Reddish situation, man, you know
What
what happened
call
with Cam
me today?
Okay.
All right.
You know what happened with Cam, man, is a classic case of when you out of sight, you out of mind. And the thing is Cam, when Cam went down, Cam was no longer in sight. And I think people, have forgot about him. And it's sad because his skill set, I think he's the most gifted player on this team.
Leon Rose didn't forget about him. Leon Rose didn't forget about him.
No, I don't think Leon forgot about him.
Because I'm a proponent. Number 1 pick next year.
And you put him at that 3, and you move RJ back to his natural spot, which is the 2. Because RJ don't need to be trying to play no 3. That's what needs to happen.
What did we say about the 2? What did me and you agreed on about the 2? What did we agree on about the 2?
That's the size
efficiency. You got to be efficient to play the 2.
You got to be efficient, and that's what he got to work on. If he can get
unless you're a 6 man.
That's why we know RJ got his deficiencies. He take a lot of shots to get his points.
1 year he did that. 1 year.
He can get efficient this year. We straight. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And hit them free throws. And we don't have a problem at that too. Grimes can come off the bench behind RJ.
Guess who we know gonna be efficient at that 2? Grimes.
True.
Grimes gonna be efficient at that 2, and he's gonna give you defense. Team building, not team acquisition. Team building is what we talking about as New York Knicks Nation. It's not player acquisition. It's team building. You need them 2 things in these finals right now. Anybody look? What is stretch 5 center at in the finals?
Nowhere to be found.
You got rebounding.
The closest thing is Al Horford, and he ain't shooting them like that.
And look, and he playing the 4.
Exactly.
Look, team building, team acquisitions is 2 different things. Look, you need that 6. It's 2 positions in the NBA that you have to have. Ray already know what I'm getting ready to say because he listened to this already. 2 things you have to have. You have to have a shooting guard. that can shoot. You can't take that position and make it anything. At that position, you got to shoot. These centers, small forwards in the league right now, they doing too much. They taking away jobs, but they can't get the job completed. The Joker get the job completed. He know how to do everything. Focus on what you do. When you don't focus on what you do, you can make a good playoff run, but you're not gonna win.
For
Look
me,
at these two teams that's in the finals right now. Both of those teams are conventional in what they do. Curry controls the ball. Curry 6'7". He plays D. You got Andrew Wiggins. And look at Boston. The same thing. The reason why Boston won't jump the hump is because you got Smart playing the point guard. And he can play the position, but he's like Burke to us on the championship level. You're not going to be able to get the job done because that's not your natural position. When you play your natural position and you do what you're supposed to do, you win championships. Nobody in 40 years, Jay Bull, in 40 years, won a championship with a 6'2", 6'3" shooting guard. Never. It didn't happen. Once the league changed, everything changed. So the last two
agree
people
with you,
that did that
except for Dwayne Wade, though.
was Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. That was 40 years ago. And then the rules changed. If your shooting guard is not 6'6" and efficient, you're not getting a title. So
once
get off
Jordan
of
came
Donovan.
in, a lot of
Wait,
stuff
wait,
changed
wait.
with the shooting guard position.
Let me tell Jay Boogie this. Get off of Donovan Mitchell. He's a glorified sixth man. He will not win a championship the way that they play ball right now, starting. In 50 years, you can go back. Look at it. I researched it. Nick Nation, get off of Donovan Mitchell unless he's going to play the point.
Agreed.
Unless he's going to play the point.
Only if he plays the point. I think he's not a pure point guard, but that's his position. In the playoffs, he needs to play the point because he can't defend twos or threes.
Look, when they get down to with 3 minutes to go, they exploit positions. That's why when him and Murray scored 50 apiece, Joker took over and won the game because they just canceled each other out. We don't need him in New York just because he's just too small. Unless he's gonna play the point.
But see, I look at Donovan Mitchell for a lot of reasons. I don't look at him just for, who he is. I look at Donovan Mitchell for the things that we don't have. Number one, we don't have athleticism. We don't have an athletic guy like that. We don't have a guy that can go get his own bucket. We don't have a guy that can bring another piece for somebody to want to come and play with. See, I'm not just looking at him being himself. I'm looking at the whole picture of what he can do for the New York Knicks organization off the court. If he go to the All-Star game, or who can he call? Who can he talk to? You can't move forward unless you got at least two elite players on your team. And that's a piece that can bring a piece. I'm not just looking for him just to come here and save the Knicks.
You really think he can bring a piece?
Yeah, he can bring a piece.
Who he brought to Utah?
No, you see, nobody want to go to Utah.
Ain't nobody want to go to Utah, man.
Nobody want to go to Utah.
You know that, Rob.
Come on,
ain't
man.
nobody was trying to go to Utah with Dan Stockton and Malone.
They used to say nobody wanted to go to Cleveland until LeBron went there.
Hey, think of that though, Rob. Think about how far that go back. Ain't nobody wanted to go there when they had Stockton.
He got drafted, man. Come on, man.
Hey, look,
Stockton and Malone, nobody wanted to go there.
Hey, look, when he came back, everybody went with him.
I'm gonna tell you this. I hear what you're saying, but
they didn't actually go with him. They got traded.
But I can tell you this: Donovan Mitchell is an impact player.
Hey, look, Kevin Love went.
That's it.
Yeah, but Kevin Love got traded for Wiggins. Yeah, but he didn't voluntarily go there.
He just wanted to get out of Minnesota.
He was gonna go anywhere.
He went with LeBron. He had a trade clause in his contract to say that he didn't have to go. But when he got
Rob, who in the league in LeBron's prime, and they one piece away, and they know that they're that one piece is going to turn LeBron down. Come on, man.
No, that's what I'm saying.
LeBron could have been in Utah. He would have said, "Yeah."
Look, great players follow.
That ain't necessarily true.
Mitchell is not a great. He's not a great player.
Rob, who followed Karl Malone and Stockton in Utah?
They never left.
Nobody never came and followed them, and they were great players.
They had to, but they already had two great players.
Top 50 players in this league.
They had two of them.
And nobody wanted to go there behind them.
Who? You already got the two.
Yeah, but you still got it. That's 2 out of 15.
Yeah, but they had a great roster too with Hornacek and all
you
of that.
talking about 2 of the top 75 right now. No, a third. Now you're looking for a third round, really? A third?
But Rob, you brought up the point about people going behind players. You got 50. That ain't even half of your roster. You just got two. You got 2 superstars. So you should get other good role players to come there. Why Utah never won a championship?
Because they ran into Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
And the only thing you knew about Utah, let's be real, you knew that pick and roll with Karl Malone, and you stopped that, and they're done because they ain't had nobody else.
And it worked. No, look. This is what they did.
Hornacek too.
Hornacek won.
This is what they did.
Stop it, Hornacek.
Look. And this makes my point. Hey, Ron, this makes my point. And I think me and you talked about this. When Utah switched from Hornacek to Russell, they went to the championship 2 straight years because you had somebody in that position. You took a 6'3" shooting guard out and you made him the 6th man. And then you got you a 6'6" shooting guard that was efficient.
And Russell was drafted. So you're proving the point. Russell was drafted. He wasn't somebody who came there in free agency.
But my point is this here. At that position...
Wasn't Shannon Anderson a starter?
All them guys was drafted by Utah.
Yep, Shannon Anderson.
Exactly. You had two.
And Howard Osley was the backup. Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't nobody came there from in the free agent. That's
no,
what Boogie talking about. Boogie talking about a free agent coming to New York because of Donovan
Mitchell. But you don't need no free agency in Utah because you had 2 all-stars, superstars. You had John Stockton and Malone. The salary cap would have not allowed a third one at that time. You had Pippen and Jordan. It was only 2, and they had 2 Hall of Famers. They just couldn't get it done because of Jordan. It wasn't about the way they built the team. It was that Jordan was in the way. The greatest player alive was in their way.
Rob, I think you missing Jay Boogie's point, man. You're not getting Jay Boogie's point.
No, Jay Boogie said, I understand what Jay Boogie said. He said Donovan Mitchell would contract. But look, we doing it from ground zero. We doing our thing. We're not doing the other thing. We're doing our thing. Our thing is the draft now. That's
but I think it's still up in the air. It's still to be determined. You know, it's funny how we don't want certain people over here for this team, right? But when it comes to drafting, we ain't drafting the right people. Point blank. We're not drafting.
We haven't put ourselves in position to be drafted in the right places either.
Quickly wasn't right.
Say what now?
Quickly wasn't right.
That's a late pick. I'm not just talking about.
We didn't have an early pick.
All right. We draft Frank Nikita. We draft Kevin Knox.
Both of them gone.
Yeah, but that was Leon Rose and them. That
It don't make a difference who it is. Every time when we in the office, we do not make the picks. Phil Jackson dropped.
Rose didn't do that.
Huh?
Rose didn't do that.
The players that we have, the young players that we have now.
The best draft pick we done had in the last 15, 20 years that came.
Look, we got to quit doing that. Hey, look, we gotta quit as New York Knicks fans blaming old regimes about what's going on right now. Look, Leon Rose did not do that. Every pick that he picked, we all agree with. We have to stay there because that's where the organization is
No, we
going.
don't.
No, Rob,
No, we
the man
don't.
fit.
Man, stop it, man.
Tell you this game.
No, we don't.
Basketball, you have to do three things well. There's three things to build in a team. You have to draft, you have to sign free agents, and you have to trade. You have to do all three well. You can't do one and think you're going somewhere. Why
But if you
Golden State
build,
and Boston sitting where they're at? Because
but
they
if you
draft well,
building RJ, right?
they do
Why
good
you
trades,
going
and
free agent?
they bring in free agents.
Look, if you're building RJ, right? Just say, for instance, we're building RJ. Why are we trying to put somebody in front of him? And we're building him. Boston did not put nobody. They traded Kyrie away. They got Kyrie off the team because they're building Tatum and Brown. And they found that out. They tried
Kyrie
Kyrie.
got himself off the team. It wasn't
Kyrie
Boston.
was a free agent, right?
He was a
Hey,
free
look,
agent. He left. It
Nah,
wasn't.
Rob kind of right though. Rob kind of right about that. Cause remember when Brandon Howard Hayward got hurt and Kyrie got hurt that year. It kind of forced Tatum and Brown to step up and play. And once they saw what they got, they never turned their back.
But the
they
thing
said,
is Kyrie didn't
But that's
leave.
not what he said. That's not what
Kyrie
he
left
said. He
in free
said that
agency.
Boston front office.
Boston didn't tell him they didn't want him.
no.
He left in free agency.
And right, and the
Just
point
like,
was Rob was
if
saying
I'm not
that Boston
signing
traded
you,
Kyrie and they didn't.
I'm not
And
putting
they
your
didn't
business.
trade him.
That's right. They never
He left.
traded him.
Oh my
I'm
bad.
not gonna know. I'm not gonna put your business in the public, but go out there and say, we didn't stop you from leaving. We didn't offer you nothing because we seen what we had.
No, Rob, you're wrong, man.
How?
They wanted to keep Kyrie. They
They
wanted
didn't.
to keep him.
Why didn't they
Kyrie was the
offer
one
him
who
a
wanted out.
contract? They
You
never
mean to
offered
tell me
Kyrie.
you mean to tell me they wanted to let Kyrie go and just go grab Kimball?
Look,
Nah.
they did not offer him a contract.
Oh my goodness. That man
Boston
left,
did
Rob.
not offer him a contract.
That man left, Rob.
But they did not offer him a contract.
It wasn't
He
because
bounced.
you forgot the press conference.
See,
when they had
sometimes
Kyrie
behind
and they asked him
behind
if
closed
Oh
doors.
yeah, with that little kid, right?
you remember what he said? If they'll have me. And he said he didn't want to leave. Well, he left
But they
because
did not
that
offer
team.
him a contract,
Well,
Ron.
he left
Hey,
that
Rob.
team
Hey
because
Rob,
of the
we can
dissensions
talk. We
between
can talk.
him.
We can talk on the podcast. But like you just told me about 7 minutes ago, Jay Boogie called me. Me and you can also have a conversation off this podcast.
And we
Them
will.
people in that league have conversations behind closed doors. I bet you anything in the world, Kyrie told him, you ain't no need to try to sign me. I'm gone.
Yeah,
But he stood with the microphone and he
Exactly,
said, if
Jay
you would
Boogie.
have me.
Come
Sure.
on, man.
that's what he was supposed to say, Rob. You know
Look,
that politics,
no,
man. He had
but
to see. He
they
was supposed to say
seen
that.
Danny ain't seen the growth.
You think that man gonna get up
Brown,
there and say, "I'm leaving"?
But look,
he ain't doing
look,
that.
they did not offer him a contract.
He made that statement at the beginning. It was opening night when he made that statement at the beginning of the season. He played a whole year. Kevin Durant had the thing that there was thoughts KD was going to stay with Golden State. He then had it out with Draymond mid-season, and then that's the whole thing. They're going to New York together. That's
Hey, look,
not
it's one thing, fellas, y'all cannot get behind. Boston did not offer that man a contract.
Oh my goodness.
They
That's
did
not
not.
because they didn't
Ron,
want
what's the
to.
number
He
then?
told him I didn't want the contract.
Exactly.
They never offered
You
him.
can't offer me something if I ain't staying. If I'm leaving, the man left. It wasn't.
No.
You making it sound like Boston didn't offer him a contract. That's why
They
he left.
didn't.
So can I ask
They
you a
didn't.
question?
That man left of his
Hey,
own
Ray.
volition.
Ray. Hey, guess what?
Yeah. What up?
Sacramento is one move away from making the playoffs, bro.
I've been
What?
on there. I've been on the Bleacher Report community. Say it again, Uncle Freezy. Say it again.
Yes.
Say it again.
Sacramento is one move away from making the playoffs.
What's
That-
the
that- That's what
what's
they
the
believe.
move, Julius Rondo?
I don't.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Ray.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you got to let these people know. Sacramento is literally one move away. You don't make a trade for a guy like Sabonis and add it to the team and say, yeah, our build is 5 years out. The reality is that they're one piece away to have a big three.
I agree.
In the Western Western Conference that has so many questions from at least, I want to say, from the third seed down?
Right.
It's pretty much a toss-up.
Right. You're looking at the Lakers, the Jazz. A lot of teams in the West have question
Even the
marks.
first seed, the
And
Suns have questions now. When they're moving on from 8, now they're going to replace them.
And
West
here's
is
here's the biggest kicker to that, though, Joe. You don't hire an experienced playoff coach to lead kids in a rebuild. You hire an experienced playoff coach to get a team to the playoffs. And the Sacramento Kings think they are that team that can grab that playoff spot. That's their goal, right? And so for teams that think Sacramento is not listening to what New York has to offer, I'm here to let y'all know, man. Don't be surprised if on draft night the Kings and the Knicks pull something off.
It's gonna happen.
Agreed.
Do you think it's juniors, or is it young players and picks, or like what are they looking at? Are they looking at like an Obi and picks, and then picks to make another move with Obi, or would they be looking at, we need a ready now player straight away? Or
Hey, Joe Madden, I got
don't think
advice
it's
for
Obi.
everybody. Don't go buy any jerseys right now until the season starts.
Yeah.
Don't buy anybody jersey right now.
I think use an American Express card and get that insurance.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be probably more the vets that we have, the 2 vets and the draft pick versus a player like Obi, because Obi is Sabonis. I mean, like, he plays the same position. So why trade? We just traded for a power forward. Why would trade for another one?
Unless they're gonna move Sabonis or move somebody else.
Because they got a lot of young pieces, so they probably looking like, if I want to make that playoff push, maybe should I bring in a couple vets plus maybe getting some draft compensation or something like that.
See, the thing what I'm thinking when an Obi trade is like Sabonis has played the 5, you put Obi at the 4, and if they get Obi and say 11 pick and extra draft capital, they can draft at 11, or they can have Obi and another move.
The Knicks are not trading. Look, I can guarantee you one jersey that you can buy. The Knicks is not trading Obi.
No, they're not. They're not.
No,
They're
I
not
don't think
trading
they are.
They're not doing that.
Obi will not be in no deal.
Obi and RJ will be the only.
If Obi end up in Sacramento, I guarantee you, Obi gonna be averaging 20 and about 5 rebounds.
Ain't but 2 trades you can make to Sacramento. And these are the 2 trades. You can either send Obi over there along with quickly no 4. That's
number 4, number 3.
No. What Jimmy is saying.
So you don't have to look. Hey, look. There's one thing this nation I want to say right quick, and it was profound to me when it happened. I was like, wow. It was like pretty much a chess move. When they traded, what's his name? Dennis Smith Jr. to Detroit. You got D Rose in a 2, but the value. Did you think that you can get Derrick Rose for D Rose? No. So we're overvaluing the draft, the trading process. We got Kevin Knox for Cam Reddish. Look at what we're talking about, but we're going more towards players that you have to give up all in. Nah, if you're not proven in this league, we're not giving you anything. We're going to get them off your book. We're going to help you out. This is what's going on in the league. I just been like noticing it. They're not giving up a lot for these players. Cam Reddish is our Kevin Knox. My cousin in Atlanta, Jay Bull, you met him. He told me. That's our Kevin Knox. Low motor, got a skill set. We don't
So you might we might have gave up too much.
But he's not saying that.
Because you gave Kevin Knox and you gave a first to get Cam Reddish when he's
the first round pick wasn't ours anyway. We got it from.
Either way, it goes still the
But
first.
it wasn't ours.
Wasn't it
So
that
you
weird?
It's still
Well,
the first.
That weird pick, that weird.
it was
draft pick they
ours.
did?
We just picked it down the road. We turned our pick into a future Charlotte pick, and then we used the future Charlotte pick.
Yeah,
at
got a good
Yes.
player. That's
So we still had the pick. Got it.
look what the move turned into. It turned into a rotation play that we played.
I'm just saying.
And we got it.
I'm just saying. What I'm saying, Rob, is if you want that fourth pick, you're gonna have to give up Obi, and you're gonna have to give up quickly.
I
and
don't
tell
think
him
so.
You can I finish? You gonna keep cutting me off and cutting
I'm
me
sorry,
off and
I'm
cutting me
sorry.
off?
I'm sorry.
You got to come up on the shows and
I
talk
said I'm
to
sorry.
people instead
I'm
of making
sorry.
once a week appearances and then want to talk
Hey, look.
on your own show.
I said I'm
I ain't done.
sorry. I'm
No, but I'm
sorry.
just saying if what I'm telling you is you can't trade Julius over there because they got a coach coming over there from Golden State that's going to run a Golden State moving the ball type offense. So Julius is out of the equation. So what I'm saying, if you want that fourth pick, you go ahead and tell them, well, we'll send you Obi and we'll send you quickly for that fourth pick, but you got to also send me that boy Mitchell that come from Baylor. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna get him. We ain't no Julius going over there. None of that. That coach coming from Golden State ain't gonna want no parts of Julius Randle. They on a whole new movement over there. So if you can't move and cut and play without the ball and get up and down that court like Golden State do, you ain't going over there. And those are the only two guys that we have that can get up and down the court that can fill positions that they need, shooting and a power forward that can get up and down the court. But go ahead, Rob.
Look, me personally, J Bug, I would take me personally the way that the Knicks roster is set up. I would take Sharp. I would go for Sharp before I go for Ivy because I don't have to play him right now. I can let him.
I think he'll be there. I think he'll be there at 11. I think nobody's going to take him.
I think we're standing pat at 11. I'm making any
all
trades.
interviews. This man is turning down all interviews.
He wants to go to New York, and the Knicks have the Kentucky connection.
I would take him. I would look. Ivy showed me in the playoffs. I mean, in a tournament that he ain't got. He showed me the Ben Simmons move. You got knocked out the first round by some busters. You the dude on the team. You got knocked out first round.
Hey, hold on, everybody. So, hey, somebody mic is cracking real bad. So I'm just gonna ask everybody if you're not talking, then mute your mic or put headphones in. Right when you use StreamYard, man, headphones is the best way to go when you're using StreamYard.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2.
Yep. Hey, go ahead, OG.
So what I'm saying is like this here, man. Look, he showed me in the tournament. You got knocked out first round. Your highlights look good on YouTube, but I seen that game. You was like 4 for 19, and you didn't show up for your team. He did the Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons was with LSU first round. You get knocked out. Now you having problems in the league. Nah, I don't want that type of player.
Yeah, but how much stock we put in, and how much stock we putting in the tournament? Because I seen guys cook up in the tournament and came to the league and wasn't that great. So I can't really put that one.
Trey Burke. Did you see guys just bomb out in the tournament and went into the league and was great? You don't see him bomb out in the tournament and go to the league and be great.
Yeah, but I seen Michael Carter Williams cook in the tournament and
he won Rookie of the Year.
And then what? He won Rookie of the Year, and then what happened?
Hey, look, maybe he got lax in what he was doing as far as his offseason. But when he came in hungry, he won Rookie of the Year.
Philly messed
Yeah, but you don't think that can make Ivy hungry? Like, oh, I ain't do what I was supposed to do. Now I'm hungry. I want to come in the league and I want to prove that.
Okay, so I asked you the question was, tell me a player that did that in a tournament, didn't get out of round 1, and came in the lead and was the hot spot.
I would say, Ray. So what I was going to say to you, Ray, is I don't believe it's going to take all of that the Knicks fans are thinking. I don't even think it's going to take the number 11 pick. I think Sacramento legit needs reinforcements. Right. The one thing they need is a 3-point shooter that shoots within the flow of the game. We have one of those. They just traded away a 3-point shooter that was selfish and Buddy Hield. Right. I think Sacramento could use an Evan Fournier. I also think that Sacramento could use a Kemba Walker. Right. I think Sacramento can use a Nerlens Noel. Right now, when I mention these guys, I'm not saying that they're going to be the prime pieces or the featured piece in any deal.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Sacramento, a team that wants to make the playoffs, all they need to do is reinforce their rough spots. Like, because Sacramento last year would go stretches where their interior and perimeter defense was awful. Right? They would go stretches. Like, sometimes they would play it. But, like, you remember the game against us? Remember the game we lost to Sacramento? You remember how they came out of the gate and we just got whatever we wanted? And then Sacramento locked down and walked us down and then blew us out? You remember that? Remember their perimeter defense stepped up because they felt like playing defense, right? If Sacramento can get some perimeter defenders and some consistent 3-point, because Davion Mitchell is not a 3-point shooter. De'Aaron Fox is not a 3-point shooter, right? But if you bring in somebody, consistently good from 3, like, the aforementioned, guys, I think they'll do something. And I do think Alec Burks has value on a playoff contending team as that shooting guard off the bench, the off the bench scorer. I think he thrives in that role. When you put him at point guard, he ain't it. Right?
Burks,
So I guess what I'm getting at is in a major one-on-one deal, no 3-team, no 4-team deal, in a major one-on-one deal where we take back some of their questionable contracts, right? I think we could pull off a deal if we take on say Harrison Barnes, right? And they're a team that is operating under the cap as we speak, right? So they don't have to match salary dollar for dollar because the biggest contract they have on their team is $30 million. Yeah. And for those who score, I'm using the resource that I'm using right now is a website called Spotrac or Spotrac, whatever you want to call it, SPOTRAC.com to look at salaries, right? When you look at Sacramento's salary cap for next year, they don't have a bunch of accounted for salary. So the Knicks could legit trade future first, right? Keep the first this year, keep the first next year. Give Sacramento future first after that. Give them players that'll contribute right away, right? And that could help Sacramento in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Now, what do we get out of that? The 4 pick. And one of their bad contracts, probably Harrison Barnes.
And what if you do that same deal, right? That same deal, and we didn't include the number 11, and then we call Phoenix and we sign a trade with the number 11, Harrison Barnes, and Mitchell Robinson for DeAndre Ayton. So now you're getting number 4 pick plus DeAndre Ayton. So you made 2 deals since you didn't use the number 11 pick.
Oh, why don't you just be patient? Why don't you just be patient, right?
I mean, you got to do your job.
Listen, hear me out.
I got you.
Why don't you just be patient, right? Just do this deal with Sacramento, right? Re-sign Mitchell Robinson and keep him, right? So that way you won't have to draft Jalen Duren or Mitchell or Mark Williams at 11. You can get you a Malachi Branham, Benedict Mathurin, Johnny Davis at 11 to go with Johnny Davis. I mean, what's his name? Jaden Ivey. So you go Jaden Ivey, or one of those young shooting guards, and re-sign Mitch.
Hey, thank you, Freezy, for mentioning my guy Malachi, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I got you.
There's no problem with what you just said, Uncle Freeze. The draft comes before free agency. So we don't know what's going to happen with Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, he might want to walk.
But look, I can say this about the free agency. Everybody wanted Versa, but look, if I watch you for 82 games, at the end of the season, I know if I want you or not.
Right.
So I can do my free agency.
and at what price? Price?
Yeah, I know. Like, I know if I want you on this team after watching you for 82 games. So it's good to say, okay, the rookies first. Because people are not having problem. The Knicks is not having a problem about do they want Mitch or not. They're just being quiet about it.
They're being cheap about it.
No, they're being quiet.
They're being cheap about it too.
You can only give them, look, you can only give Mitch 56.
And they ain't want to give him that.
No, who said that? You heard that somewhere?
It's reported. Go
No,
do your
it's not.
research.
Ron,
do
no,
your
not.
research, Rob. Do your research.
Who said it?
It's
No,
been
that
reported.
is not reported. Ron,
Okay.
that is not reported.
I'm gonna let you believe that one.
No,
It
is
keep
not
trying to
reported.
think the Sacramento Kings. They think nobody knows about the Sacramento Kings. All we do is look at Knicks stuff, bruh. We're all fans of the NBA. It's the same thing right now. We all watch stuff all over the league, bro. It's not just about the Knicks. We got to get out of this all Knicks all the time mindset.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where you think the world revolves around you. The world don't revolve around you. There are 29 other teams, and they have fans too, right? And they have beat reporters too, and they have front offices too, and they talk and be on social media also. So when you just say something random like that team such and such think they don't, nah, bro, they put their stuff out there just like what you doing.
Oh yeah.
You think they not doing the same? You think the Kings ain't doing the same thing you doing? The Kings fans are doing the same thing you doing.
Go type in Kings news and find out.
Yeah.
Type in Knicks news, you'll find out any of these teams.
Right. Yeah. It's all these. We are all fans of say specific teams. They all have fans. They all do the same things we do. Now, is their show popping like this one? Nah. You know what I'm saying? It ain't popping like this because they don't have an OG like Rob the Nick. They don't have a dude over there like that. I know that for certain because ain't nothing but one of them. Ain't nothing but one OG. Ain't nothing but one J Boogie. Ain't nothing but one man. You know what I'm saying? But my point that I'm getting at is just because things happen outside of the tri-state area don't mean those things don't exist. They do. My cousin do the same thing. My cousin do the same thing I'm doing right now for the Detroit Pistons. My cousin Jay, he do the same thing for the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? And he talk about all summer. He been talking about what his team look like when they get Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson. And you know what I tell him? Y'all not getting Mitch, right? It's the same. It's the same thing, bro. Teams all over the place are talking that talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't think just because Sacramento ain't been successful in doing a thing that they ain't trying to make major moves. They are. Because if you say that about Sacramento, guess what you could say about the Knicks?
The same thing.
The same thing.
Exactly.
I could count on Sacramento to make dumb moves though.
But I'm gonna tell you
about the team that drafted Wally Stein when they still had DeMarcus Cousins.
And they picked 3-point guards in a row.
So let me give
and
the
they under pressure now because the owner's wrapping the whip up there, and we need to start winning. So and that's the same thing with Portland. And you have two teams, maybe even Indiana, teams ahead of you that might start making panic moves.
Exactly.
So I think you need to look at that and be like, all right, we need to jump on that. You need to be calling Sacramento. Let's see how desperate they are.
And to be honest, Ivy even fit their team. To be honest, they don't need him. They have De'Aaron Fox.
But they could trade Fox. I hear Kings fans saying it's not a bad idea taking Ivy and moving Fox. Some of them want that.
Right.
Then they should have did that why did they trade Halliburton? That doesn't make sense. We should have just traded Fox.
And they traded for DiVincenzo. So you got DiVincenzo too.
He don't want to be there. I think he already put in a trade request.
I tell you, my man Kendall is on to something. I like the idea of that trade because if they're not gonna keep Mitchell Robinson, that move of getting Ayton over here, that'll be a great move. And to get the 4th pick, that'll be a great move.
I know I like to have Mitchell. I like to have Mitchell back with the team, but watching what's happening this year is proving that you do not need that big. And I know 4 other bigs that one didn't get a ring last year, and that's who y'all talking about bringing over here. It's 3 more bigs that ain't gonna get no rings, and that's Embiid, that's the Joker, and that's that dude over in Utah. Because right now they're proving right now on this floor.
And
You watch
Cat
this
and
game.
Carl Anthony
I
Towns.
don't need a big.
But you know what, Boog?
You need,
I'm
but you
gonna
need,
push
but
back
you
on
need
that.
a big. You need a big if your team is not secure. You know what I'm saying? As far as defensive orient, all the way around, and you need somebody who can protect that rim because somebody else in front of you can't play no deep.
I'm gonna tell you, I
look,
push
J.
back on
Boog,
that a little
look.
bit because with Ayton, if you look at Phoenix, how Phoenix been using Ayton, they haven't been using him right. They're trying to run that team through Booker. Booker's a great player, but if you ain't Jordan, if you ain't Kobe, you ain't winning no chip on that outside like that, man. You
What
better
you
you
think?
got
Who you think they gonna run it through if you got a guy like Booker and he went up under Kobe Bryant's wing and got all the knowledge he got? But go ahead, Ray. Ray was gonna say something.
Let me finish that. Let me finish that before Ray get in it. They had CP3. They had CP3 being the man of the team. Booker wasn't even the guy in the playoffs.
Right.
That team, they was running that offense through CP3, the oldest fossil at the point guard position in this league. So they weren't even running that team right. For as much as Monty Williams got the coach of the year, in the playoffs, he got out coached against Dallas. Dallas should not have beaten them. Period.
Additional point guards matter, y'all.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
Will, what's good?
Salute. What's good, y'all?
What's
Hey,
up,
go ahead,
Why?
Ray.
My guy, my guy.
Salute to the panel.
No, Jay Boogie, you know me, man. I'm not one to like just jump into the fight, especially in
That's I know that. That's why I broke the fight up. You know what I'm saying? You shot a one-on-one with my man Rob. Now you gotta shoot a one-on-one with Ray. You know, back in the days you used to have a one-on-one with two guys if you beat the main guy up.
You gotta shoot the fair one. You gotta shoot the fair one.
Oh, you beat my man up, yo. You
I
got.
thought Jay Boogie had problems. That's why I pulled up. I wanted to make sure my man Jay Boogie was all right.
Yeah.
And you pull up on your
because Rob Ray go crazy.
He pull up on his Huffy.
Yo, with his little brother riding on the handlebars.
Oh God!
Everything all right?
Yeah,
good,
man.
So yo, I just want to point out something. Listen,
Shout out Rob the Nick. What's good, Rob?
What's up, baby boy? How you doing?
You already good to see you, bro.
Good to see you too, baby.
No, I just want to point out something. For the past 2 weeks, I've been going on other different, not other platforms to speak, but just to sort of get some information like Uncle Freezy alluded to, because context matters. Like, we are not the only team in the NBA. I went on a couple of Kings podcasts just to watch, and Brendan Nunes, he's like one of those big podcasters out there, was speaking to John Macri on Knicks Film School, where he was talking about the idea of trading Julius Randle and how we can get up to the number 4 pick. And Kings fans, Kings pundits, analysts, and whatnot are basically saying, yeah, that Julius Randle is just not going to work. Their front office is in their last year, so they got to make a win now, kind of move. And that they're on the fence in terms of taking someone like Keegan Murray because Jaden Ivey fit is a little wonky. Still the best player, but they're still having PTSD about the whole passing up on Luka. I think they took Marvin Bagley over Luka, right?
Yep.
So they're still in disarray from all of that. So there's one half of the fan base out there that's basically saying, hey, take Jaden Ivey. And another part of the fan base that is saying, yo, we need to go out and get a win now player. So they're thinking guys like Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, but we just tend to
Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is the name I've been hearing for Sacramento.
Yeah. So the reality is with the Julius Randle thing, it's not going to work. I thought it could work, but the only way it would work is if Julius Randle was an efficient jump shooter, because that fit next to Sabonis would actually work. Because if you bring in Domantas Sabonis, his best position is playing at the 5, where he's very efficient at the rim with his footwork, his ability to pass, the whole 9. But it doesn't work with Julius Randle. It just doesn't. No matter how much we want to push it as a fan base, it doesn't work. So the other part of that coin in the conversation is, well, what about RJ Barrett? Which is why a couple of days ago when I was on the show with you, Uncle Freezy, I did ask the question,
is there a possibility if they love Jaden Ivey that much that they do give up R.J. Barrett to get the 4th pick? Now, I would, as I said, Uncle Freezy basically asked me, "Hey, why do you hate RJ so much?" I wouldn't do it.
No, I was trolling, bro. I was trolling, man. You know, I'm messing around.
No, of course. But my whole thing is that as a fan base, we do need to consider the possibility. You know, again, RJ Barrett. The consensus among Knicks fans is that RJ Barrett is not a max player. He's in a contract year. Is there he's not Leon Rose's pick. Is there a possibility, and it goes back to the earlier point, I guess the premise for the show regarding the backcourt, is there a possibility that this franchise or Leon Rose or these guys that are on Dolan's payroll get real stupid and trade RJ Barrett to get up to the number 4 pick? Now, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that's what I want because that's not what I want. But in order to get from the 11th pick to the number 4 pick, you're giving up a whole lot. You're not just giving up role players for a situation, even with Sacramento, where they do have the ability to, make that one move and get up in the Western Conference, playoff contention. But the reality is that I think the highest we can go is number 7 with Portland. If you get to 7, you probably could get to number 4. But Julius Randle is, if we're talking about getting to the number 4 pick, it's not happened with Julius Randle.
But what do you get at 7? What do you get at 7 that you can't get at 11?
Well, isn't that the drop off in the draft?
Exactly, Freezy. Exactly.
As soon as you make the pick at number 4,
that's a great point, Freezy.
The talent pool is pretty much the same, right? Like, it's not that far apart. So unless
from 4 to 11, it's about the same. Everybody said about this draft that it wasn't this good. Now we're valuing the draft like it's good.
It's not. It's not the same. It's not the same. Listen, after Jaden Ivey gets picked at number 4, no matter who it is, whether it's Sacramento or whatnot, yes, there is a drop off. So to get into a top 5, remember, you're picking number 11. You're going past.
Who's your top 4, 10. Ray?
Top 4's got to be Chet. It's got to be Jabari. It's got to be Banchero and Jaden Ivey. And Jaden Ivey is being talked up into the top 3. Like
top 2, Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Oklahoma City is actually having conversations about, we may actually want him. Now, you may think that he doesn't fit that whole scenario, whatever the case
may be. They BSing. They BSing. They got Giddey and they got Alexander.
That means somebody will be on the move.
Yeah, that's
somebody's on the move.
No, they BSing.
No, you have to look at their situation, man. You have to look at their situation. They don't just have 1 first-round pick and 1 second. They pick 2 and 12. They don't have to pick a big at 2. They can wait to 12 and pick Mark Williams.
And then if you know anything about Sam Presti's history, it don't make a difference what position with him. If you're a player, he gonna pick you.
Yeah.
Case in point, look at that when they got Giddey last year. They didn't need Giddey.
Hey, look.
And then they took Trey Mann. They took Giddey and point guards in the same round.
Sam Presti is living off of with the Durant and all of that. They living off of that. That's scripted.
Them boys draft well over there. They draft well over there.
They've been losing for years.
They've been losing for
years.
Rob, them boys been in the playoffs more than we've been in the last decade.
Look, when the last time Oklahoma was in the playoffs? With Chris Paul was there.
When Westbrook was by himself.
When Chris Paul was there.
Come on, man. And do you act like that's a decade ago? That ain't that long ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was 2 seasons.
That was 2 years ago.
Yes, that was 3 seasons ago. That was 3 seasons ago, and they just went back to back because they went with Paul George and Melo and them.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
No, Paul George. Look, y'all got to.
Hey, OG was like, no.
No.
Hey, put that lampshade on that light back there, man.
I'll be cracking up.
OG was like, no.
They've been out of position for a minute. They
but Rob,
they give them respect because of what they did with the first team. But right now, Oklahoma
ain't just the first team, man. Them boys flip when they trade players out of there. They find a way to get picks and picks and picks and picks.
Presti is gunning for the 2023
what
draft.
the picks mounting up to? You got a losing team. How many games they won last year?
They got. Hey, look at that kid Dort. That kid Dort, Josh Giddey. Who's the other cat over there that they drafted well?
How many games they won?
SGA. I mean, but they draft well, Rob. You can't dispute that.
No, you losing. I can't say like just because you playing.
They're losing. Them boys, hey,
you're a good player.
Them boys was going to the playoffs more in the last 10 years than we have.
Rob, they're losing. They're losing on purpose.
That's facts.
Rob,
just for the
SGA's
record,
only played 50 games the past 2 seasons. They're sitting him to lose. Like Presti loaded up on picks. He's waiting to hit. And if he misses, he's going to tank some more until he gets what he wants. And when he gets what he wants, that's when he's going to make a big trade.
Okay, and for the record, OKC, Rob, for the record, OKC made the playoffs 2 seasons ago. They were 44-28. They lost in the first round of the playoffs.
I was just getting ready
so
to
they
say
were.
that.
That was 2 seasons ago.
2,
not 3, not 4. That was 2 seasons ago.
And they're not faking it. They're not faking.
How long they been in the first
argue
round?
yourselves in a
Not
box
looking for picks
and say a bunch of dumb stuff, arguing yourself into a box. They was just in the playoffs with Chris Paul.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Evergreen coming firing.
Before that, they was in the playoffs. And before that, they were in the playoffs.
Right.
They've been in the playoffs. And now
And
they're
they draft
not in the
well.
playoffs. They have a team with 2 veterans, right? They got 2 veterans on their team.
That's it.
Theo Maledon and Derek Favors. They don't have all the rest of their team are still within their 3rd year. He is
Theo Maledon's a 3rd-year player.
They got, you know what Sam Presti does well? The 3 things: trade, draft, and get in free agents. OKC get better free agents than we do.
But look, when the Knicks do that same program, everybody cussing the Knicks out.
The Knicks haven't done that same program. What are you talking about?
We never did that.
We
never did that program.
We got right now. How many
We
picks we got right now?
Rob, we ain't never did that program, man.
How many picks we got right now in the next 4 years?
See, the problem is,
what you have here.
The problem is we can't come out and admit.
Gentlemen, here's what you have here. You have, once again, what Freezy has said multiple times before. You have what you call a habitual goalpost mover, right? Because we know for a fact that OKC was in the running, right, for playoff contention for at least within the last 15 years or so. At least 7 or 8 of those years, they've been in the playoffs, right?
Yep. And trying to get there every year. They was trying to get there every year.
While we've been home fishing.
The last 20 years have only been to the playoffs 3 times.
And they produced KD and Westbrook. Don't forget that, bro. But go ahead, finish cooking.
Right, they produced KD, Westbrook, and Harden.
And
Ibaka.
And
competed. They were able to
and
trade
Reggie Jackson.
They were able to trade for a guy that we essentially gave up in Carmelo, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were able to, even after that, reinvent themselves again under the same brand of Russell Westbrook, where the following year after Carmelo was gone, he wins MVP, right? And goes down in history as one of the greatest point guards ever. We haven't scratched the surface of even getting a player like that. The last player that we got that was close to being something was KP, and I don't like bringing his name up. So no, OKC and the Knicks are not the same. We got to cut it out.
Can I say something too?
We are just now starting on this idea of what OKC was doing and trying to get us players through the draft.
And we still trying to find out about Leon Rose.
And the key thing, what he said is a fact. They brought Chris Paul in to teach some of their players, and they improved over there. So that's the key part that I see.
That's all I say.
We got to bring in a player that know how to play with the young talent and not think just the young talent, but not the type of veterans that we have. But go ahead, finish what you were saying, bro.
Look, you missed what I said. I said
another key point too is SGA is not an OKC draft pick. SGA was
they
traded,
picked him up through a deal. Facts.
Through a deal from the Clippers.
Facts.
Right.
And that was
That's one of the things that I was trying to get at. It's like we diminish what Sam Presti does. We think he is just a draft pick accumulator.
Man, that guy does it all.
But he does it all.
You need to learn from them.
The three phases. He trade well, he draft well, and he get good free agents.
And you know how I know he trade well, Rob? And Ron, you know how I know he trade well? Because he got a lot of those. Because he acquired Paul George in a trade. He acquired Chris Paul in a trade.
Fact. He got that done.
He acquired SGA in a trade.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He traded away Russell Westbrook and got draft picks in return.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How do he traded for Chris Paul and got draft picks in a deal with Chris Paul?
And he bounced back after losing KD too.
For Westbrook.
That's why I've been saying for a long time. That's why I've been saying for a long time. After this Leon Rose experiment, go get Sam Presti. I don't care what you got to do. You go get him, or you go to Toronto and get your jersey. One of those two guys need to come
no value.
For Sam Presti,
so you know what the problem is?
What we've been doing right now got no value.
They ain't got no value.
No, listen. Let me say something.
No,
Rob,
I'm talking to Ron on this.
No, I know what you're saying, Rob. Let me just say one thing. You know what it is us Knicks fans do? We overvalue our players because we love our players. But what I do, I just try to keep it real.
No, they devaluate our players.
No, I'm saying is that
Ron devaluating what we did in the draft. Look, Mitch, no value.
How I devaluate what we did in the draft? I just told you we drafted well. Didn't I tell you that? You ain't listening.
But then you
ain't listening.
No, Rob.
What I
Rob,
said about
I'm
them
talking
players?
about.
I ain't said nothing but them players, man.
Rob,
Stop that,
I'm
man.
talking about like when you say Donovan Mitchell's a 6-man, right? Comparing to what we have.
Now that's devaluing all-star.
That's crazy to do.
You know what? Oh, okay. Let me
finish. Hold on, Rob. Let me just make one point. I'm gonna give it right to you. I'm saying that what I do is, as a Knicks fan, no matter how much I love my team, I'm a fan of the team. So that means is that I'm never gonna say RJ is better than Donovan Mitchell when I know he's not, just because he's on my team. For example,
thank you.
That goes for anybody on that team. So when you see that, when you say he's a 6-man, I'm saying that he should be able to come on our team and play with RJ and make RJ better because he's been in the league a little bit longer than RJ and he's still young and he achieved early on, learning how to score off the dribble and do all this stuff that RJ still can't do. So even though we say his defense, blah, 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 you get him with a defensive coach or he learns certain things, then he's going to be a very good player in the NBA. People glorify Randall, and Randall's his first time All-Star on this season in COVID year, bro. Like, that's why I get upset when you got young players who've been in the All-Star game at least a few times. You know what I mean? Meaning that they're playing and averaging good every year on their team, bringing the team to the playoffs. That's the point I'm making in reference to
only thing.
Players.
Rob, I want to go back at you. I want you to tell me what player I devalue. What player I devalue? Because that was no sit down to me now. Because you bold facing. You bold facing on here.
So, let me answer. Now look, when I said that, I was saying when I talked about Donovan Mitchell on that, I was talking about like this here, at the position that he plays. Not to say that he's not a good player, but a 6'3" shooting guard in 40, 50 years since Isaiah Thomas. And then the rules changed. That they put them in a position that now you can only because you get exploited in the fourth quarter of your
I agree with Rob.
But Rob,
tell me what player I devalued on our roster. I know I didn't.
You not valuable. You got
after all of that. I told y'all this is where you got to be careful because the goalposts will get moved. If you don't,
what I do is what I was trying to say is you got to look at doing that. That's what you got to look at, especially if we say RJ doing something after 3 years and RJ ain't really. He don't have a game like as Donovan Mitchell had at that period. You could compare them and see. And for example. So when you look at that, you say in his position, I think it's too early on to judge him that way.
No, I want to keep her. I wouldn't trade
Rob,
RJ.
you my man, but like Jay Boogie
RJ
said, man, you need to
too
come
much.
around more often, man.
I will not trade RJ for Mitchell because RJ got other elements.
No,
of
I
his
didn't
game.
say that though. I didn't say trade it for Mitchell. I'm saying that I know Mitchell's better than RJ right now. It depends
No,
on
he can score more. He's not.
Hey Rob, you must be getting ready to drive him to the summer league.
Yo, but that
Besides
was
scoring. Look, besides
Make sure
scoring,
you drive to the summer league, Rob. Drive there.
Take your
Yo,
time.
Rob, you can't keep saying RJ plays.
See everything.
One question.
Donovan Mitchell.
Besides scoring, what does Mitchell does better than RJ?
Yeah, I would say this about Donovan Mitchell.
He know
straight
how
up.
to play. He know how to play better than him right now.
Hold on, let Don P get in. Go ahead, Don.
I'm gonna say this about Donovan Mitchell. I understand where Rob is coming from, halfway, about as far as like his size or whatever. Because I always ask people this question: if we're gonna bring Donovan Mitchell onto the squad, where are we gonna plug him up at?
Hey,
I
Don
understand.
P, let me ask you a question directly. Let me ask you this question directly.
Okay.
Did you not see Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet win an NBA title with Toronto?
No.
Did you see? Wait. Before, no, hey, Rob, I'm talking to Don.
Don't even get
Rob, I'm talking to Don.
Hold up, Rob. Time out, man.
I preface it. I said, Don P, I'm going to ask you this question directly. Y'all heard me say, Don P, let me ask you this question directly, right? Y'all heard me say that, right?
You try to block the field goal. You try to block the field goal.
Did you not see Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet win an NBA title?
Short answer, yes. But the other part of it is, if Kawhi Leonard wasn't there, they would have won.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If Kawhi Leonard wasn't there, would they have won?
I don't want to do the hype. That's a hypothetical. That's like saying
he was
Michael
there,
Jordan went with
and
the
they
Bulls,
won.
with the Bulls won.
He was there and they won.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. But the thing that was there, the thing that was stated clearly was small backcourts can't win, right? And the thing we have to recognize is, and this is what I talked to Joe Madden about earlier, is if you have a preference for a classic old school rotation of point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, that's what you're going to lean towards. But if you prefer the positionless style of basketball, like a couple of these NBA champions have played, then you will lean
like
that
who?
way, and you'll cut like Milwaukee.
But Milwaukee got
like the Los Angeles, Los Angeles Lakers.
And Lopez 7
Freeze,
foot.
can I ask
What
you a
you
question?
talking about?
But y'all saying, but listen, y'all are saying that the Bucks had a point guard, right? Was he the primary ball handler? Did they not have a Greek freak type athlete that can handle the ball and get you in the offense?
But
with the Toronto Raptors, did you not have a
Pascal
6-7 Finals MVP that could get you into offense and play make?
I see what you're saying.
You covered that position.
What I'm saying is,
Here's an easy question, guys. Here's an easy question. The easy question is, what position does a 6-man play exactly? Because if we're going to say Donovan Mitchell is a 6-man,
I'm not.
That's a silly
I'm not with that. I'm just.
That's a silly
my thing with Donovan Mitchell.
He's a 6-man.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? You just said where they gonna plug him in at, right? Freezy, would that be a problem for you to know where you gonna plug Donovan Mitchell at on this team?
No.
Yeah, that was
okay. Thank you.
See, all right, so
once you evaluate talent the right way, it's no need for you to figure out where you're gonna plug. He's the best player right off the first day he's there.
Yep, that's fine. No, but let me reverse it. When he put Alec Burks at the
I'll tell you this. Forget being
that's my question to you guys. Why did we jump down Tom Thibodeau's throat when he had Alec Burks at the one?
Because he was playing him out of position.
Because his skill wasn't there.
Because he's not a point guard.
He's not a point guard.
Right. That's my point. Like, we can't sit there and say on one hand, we want to do positionless basketball, but we jumping down the coach's throat for putting somebody who's obviously a 2 in the 1 position. That's
So that
essentially
just
what
goes
we're
back to
saying about
Freeze's
Donovan
question.
Mitchell.
Nah, you moving
And
the
the
goalpost
question
too,
is not
bro.
being answered, but if you don't answer Freeze's question.
Nah, bro, we
I mean,
ain't
let-
say
No,
that.
he's not, because you got to look.
Yo,
Look.
both of y'all just said Donovan Mitchell. You don't know who you're gonna play. You say he's
He's
six
a
man.
six man.
No,
I said
Name me, hold on. Name me 10.
I'm not talking about six
To
man
win, look,
Name me
he
'cause
can
I
make
don't think
point
he's a
$50
point
million.
guard.
But
Name me
on the
10 point
championship
guards.
team, he's a six
Name me
man.
10 point guards and 10 shooting guards that are better than Donovan Mitchell.
You would have said that about Wiggins too before.
He's a
All right, let me
shooting
give you
guard.
one even better. Let
Name
me
me
give you one
10
even better.
guards
Let me give you one even
and
better.
10 shooting
Hold on,
guards.
let's
give you
talk one at a time.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
give you one
all-
even better. Let me give you
Let
one
me
even
take
better.
this real quick. Because
Monte
Donovan
Ellis.
Mitchell.
Monte Ellis in his prime. Does he not remind you of Donovan Mitchell?
Who that?
Monte Ellis in his prime. Does he not remind you of Donovan Mitchell?
Yep.
His game, right?
Hell
So who
yeah.
would you? Donovan Mitchell in his prime, or Klay Thompson in his prime?
And guess
No,
what?
he
And guess
ain't
what?
Klay. He
You would
ain't
have loved
Klay.
to have Monte Ellis on the Knicks. You
But
would have
look,
loved to have
did
him
he
back
win
then.
the rings? You're talking about winning rings.
You would have
We
loved
ain't
to have
talking
him on the
about good
Knicks.
players.
Hey,
Listen, as
Rob, you know how many
we
players
love
that
to
played
have
in this league
somebody
where
who
they
can
ain't
get
got
us
a
the
ring?
bucket. We the worst
are
tricks in the
great
world.
Yo,
We
Rob.
would somebody
Yo,
who could
Rob.
get us a bucket.
Stop
Yo, Rob, if
putting
we
value
can't,
on just the ring, man. There's a lot of great players that never got one, man.
Man,
yo, Rob,
look,
if
I
we
want
can't
Chicago.
draft right,
I
yo, Rob, we
want
gonna have
Chicago guard. What's Chicago? The light skinned kid.
Zach LaVine,
ball.
he ain't never won no ring.
He fits the profile. I
He
want
just
him.
like another
Zach
Donovan
LaVine.
Mitchell.
Oh
He
my
ain't never
God.
won no
Zach
ring.
LaVine's a six man now. Hey guys,
No,
words out.
he's a
Zach
starter.
LaVine's a six man now.
6'6". No, he's not. He's a starter.
DeRozan
Okay.
came and took over his
Can you
team.
name me, Rob? Can you? I gotta. We say context is the thing now.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't say that about Donovan and then say you want Zach LaVine.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
is
what
we're
are you doing?
not
I
far
got you.
apart.
Listen.
Come on,
Context
y'all.
is the big thing now, right?
Let's keep it a buck. Let's
What's
keep it
your
a buck.
question?
Why Lewis Williams
All right,
never really
here's my
started?
question.
Hold on. Go
Let
ahead.
Evergreen go first.
Go ahead,
Because
Evergreen.
this has got to get flipped on both sides. So side number
Okay.
one is, can you name me 10 point guards and 10 shooting guards that are better than Donovan Mitchell? Pause. Then
No.
you can't, right? So I mean, if you can't, hold on. This is Rob. This is on Rob.
What's the
And
criteria?
if you can't name me 10 point guards or 10 shooting guards that are better than Donovan Mitchell, then can you name me a sixth man of the year or a sixth
That's an
man
easy
of
question.
the year or a sixth man on a championship team that was better than 10 point guards and 10 shooting guards
No.
in the league?
Okay.
No, we already know the
Look,
premise.
10 to 1, Manu Ginobili kills that. That's done. That's done. Manu Ginobili kills that. Now,
Name me the 10. Name me
Manu
the 10
talking
shooting
current
guards.
ball
Manu
players.
Ginobili is
Name
better
me
than
the
Donovan
10 shooting.
Mitchell.
Whoa.
Wow.
Name me the 10
Are you
shooting
Ginobili
guards
in the
that
Hall of
Ginobili was
Fame.
better than.
Crazy.
Evergreen, are you
He's in
talking
the Hall
current
of
NBA
Fame.
players or history? Because Rob,
I'm talking about right now.
Listen,
But
Wait, bust it down,
look,
Rod.
and this is what I'm saying.
It's some
I'm
shit.
glad.
It's some shit going
I'm
around.
glad.
Y'all on.
I'm glad Ron Cleveland brought that up, right? Because this is what I'm talking about. You talk about we have habitual goalpost moving yet again. He went way back into 1934 and brought out Manu Ginobili, as if Manu Ginobili is relevant in this conversation right now. He's not. So again, let's stick to what's going on in the league right now.
Oh,
Players
right
that are in
now.
the league right now. Since I
Okay.
gotta qualify it.
Hold on. Can I say something? Can I say one thing? You know what's not fair? You said that he won a championship, and I think that just because we didn't draft him, like we mentioned, other teams won because they had made moves and picked players to help them win. Just like Milwaukee, PJ Tucker. Certain players could come and make your team better if they still young. And remember, players still going to come to the Knicks eventually, hopefully. That's what we
and
hope.
do remember
So,
there's a lot
my
of
last
great
point is
players
this.
that
If
haven't
you
won
think that-
championships.
And if you thinking that if we barely could get it right through the draft and we're gonna win that way, then that's far-fetched in my opinion. You know what I mean? I pay attention to what's going around the league. Even players, teams like Boston or certain teams, they had good players on their team early on. So we have to have some decent vets to play with these guys. That's the thing, and it could change us around as far as
Man, bump all that. Who the 10 players better than Donovan Mitchell?
But you know what, though,
Listen,
you don't want to play
Donovan
better. You
Mitchell
don't play whether or not they win a championship or not.
Hold on, I'm not.
Yo, the best player on our team. However, what's his position?
You didn't even see his whole career, Donovan Mitchell's career. He's still a young player. Y'all be jacking Randall, and he got way more seasons, and this kid got way more talent. So if
Speak on it.
So if you see,
all right. So let me ask you this, Harwell. Let me ask you this, Harwell.
Oh, Quickly is better. Oh, RJ is better just because they're on our team. That doesn't make sense.
That don't make sense.
Who's doing that narrative?
Now, there's one thing I will agree with Rob on. One thing the
Hold on,
Knicks
who's
have
doing
done
that narrative?
with this regime, they've drafted well. That's it. Everything else, they failed.
How?
I don't think they drafted well.
What free agents we got? What good free agents we got?
Look.
So hold on. I would like to deal with that narrative. I'd love to deal with that agent narrative.
Because y'all say y'all didn't know where Mitchell would play.
So my question number one to the draft well question or the draft well statement is, how do you sign a player to play power forward and he is your best player, and the first time you get to draft somebody, you don't draft a position of need or best player available, you draft a backup to your best player?
Because you know the problem was freezing. Easy answer.
They were going to trade him, bro.
Right.
That blew up in their face because they couldn't trade Julius.
Hey, man, y'all gotta respectfully, man. Y'all gotta respectfully stop jumping on Rob. Rob is Rob. Rob didn't want Bradley Beal. He wanted Grimes and Quickly too.
Yeah.
Y'all leave Rob alone.
I gotta give credit where credit is due.
So he don't like them type guys.
And this is for Ron. So at the end of that draft, right?
I don't want nobody over there.
At the end of that first round, after you drafted Obi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you draft a kid. I forget what the name of the kid is, but then we traded him to Minnesota for the rights to the pick for Quickly, right?
Leandro Bomero, wasn't that?
Yeah. So So they drafted Leandro Bomero. Imagine it, a 6'4" shooting guard. Imagine that. They drafted a 6'4" shooting guard, right? And then traded him and for Quickly and a second round pick, right?
Now you think Quickly was a bad pick?
When
you setting that up, so you make it Quickly to be a bad pick.
Ron, you gotta let me set it up. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
And let me put the sauce on it. Let me put the sauce on it. So not only when there are other players available, there you go get Quickly. I like Quickly, but does Quickly fit better on this team than say a player that came a few picks later, like a Desmond Bane? You have to ask yourself, if you're a Knicks fan, right? At that time, would you have preferred Desmond Bane or a guy that was projected to go in the second round, Emmanuel Quickly?
I prefer Quickly.
I prefer Quickly. Quickly was touted as the steal of the draft by all these guys, all these front office people were saying Quickly was the steal of the draft.
Right, but you say that now, 2 years later.
They said that year one.
That was year one.
I'm talking
year
about
one.
At the draft, Desmond Bane was projected to be a first-round pick. At the draft, Quickly was projected to be a second-round pick that the Knicks.
I'm glad we got Quickly.
Right, but you're saying you're glad. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna just take that table off. I'm gonna take that question off the table.
And then I seen him in the playoffs. I'm glad I got Quickly.
I think he was a steal, man. I think he was a steal.
So the question was at the time.
The question is not about whether he was a steal or not. The question
is
that's
what I'm saying. Was he a good draft pick? That's what I said. I said we drafted well.
Right.
So
we drafted well.
I'm gonna tell you why.
That's one good draft pick.
Here's why Quickly was the guy. He was the perfect match. You have to remember, when we started trading back, the intention for the trade back was still everyone was looking at picking up a point guard, and it just so happens that 2 picks before, the Sixers picked up Tyrese Maxey, who we were looking at. Because you got to remember who else was on that draft at the point guard position. You had what's old boy from Harlem that's in Orlando right now.
Bam.
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony.
Oh, Cole.
Right. That's who the talk of the town was for us to get. But we made the move and we went back, and it's like, oh wow, is Tyrese Maxey going to be there? As soon as we made that move, the very next pick after that was Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey. Thank you.
It was tight.
And for those that say evergreen, let me spoil it. For those that misunderstood my point, you could have left the draft with Obi, Tyrese Maxey, and Emmanuel Quickly.
No, we couldn't.
For those that didn't, yeah, because you could have got Quickly in the second round. He was projected to be a second round pick.
Quickly would have been gone.
No, they gave up their second to move up to 21.
Yeah, Quickly would have been
So
gone.
you said, yeah, okay. Oh, all right. So the crystal, everybody got crystal balls. How come I ain't get one? Ray, Ray, y'all was giving out crystal balls. How come y'all ain't send me one?
I'm sorry.
That's selfish, bro.
And Freezy, I like the way you brought up the point
I
with Ben.
needed to mail it to you, but I'm sorry. That was my fault, Freezy.
I like the fact you brought up Ben and you brought up Quickly. Let's look at two of these situations this year. Ben was in the playoffs when John Morant went down. You saw how Ben was looking. Right. John Morant made him look real good playing next to Ja. Look at how Quickly was playing the last few weeks of the season when our best player went down in Julius Randle. Quickly stopped, went up.
He looked like Maxey.
Quickly.
Him and Maxey, that's
that
the
ain't
same
fair, bro.
player.
That is fair. That is very fair.
No, it ain't.
That is very fair.
Fair.
Both of them guys.
How did Quickly? How did Quickly
why?
Right. How did Emmanuel Quickly look the first 60 games of the season?
I'll tell you. Hey,
how did Quickly look the first 60 games of the season? Can anybody tell me?
What?
Because if I look it up, I'm gonna put it on the screen.
You said what?
How did Emmanuel Quickly look the first 60 games of this past season?
No, the first.
No. You moving the goalpost, Freezy. You moving the goalpost. I gave you the scenario and you moving
that narrative, y'all.
No. You gave me a stitch of time. You said when in such and such stitch of time, Emmanuel Quickly looked good, right?
But he figured it out late.
And then I asked you, well, how did he look before that? That's another.
What was his last game? A triple double.
He wasn't playing good early on. I ain't gonna even front for him. He wasn't playing good early on.
He figured it out later. They look.
But them
they
last
gave
2
him
weeks,
a new position, the man. They
them last 2 weeks, that boy was balling.
They said, look, we need you to do this. It took him 60 games to do it. But at the last 20,
and that's the biggest problem with Quickly. He's caught in position. He's not a true point guard. And then he's going to be outnumbered at the 2 for a winning team as Quickly as starting shooting guard.
Hey, look here. I tell you,
you know what happened? Them last 2 weeks was when Tom changed and allowed him to play the point instead of getting Alex Burton away.
But he's playing in the championship.
But Marcus Smart based his game on grit and defense. Even though Quickly defense got better, they made him a point guard in the middle. Like, he should already, it's hard to just change the game. He never played a point guard before.
That he plays the point. He played it. He know it. He just got to get it back. And in season 2, let's wait.
Now, when I watch Quickly play the point guard, I see him looking for his own shot when he can make an easy pass.
Right. But in them last 20 games, he wasn't looking for a shot.
And what Quickly reminds me of, as like a Lou type player off the bench to come in and go off and give you some production. That's the type of team I can see him doing.
I don't think Lou ever had a triple double. I ain't think Lou ever had a triple double.
Quickly looking like a point guard that's starting to figure it out.
This man,
right? And that was my point. I wanted to say that was my point around the point guard starting to figure it out. Because remember, we picked him off of the trade, which means that it was a 25 pick that was traded, right? After that, he would have been gone because right after that, the Celtics drafted Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah,
then
they would
the 29 pick.
They would have
the 29 pick was Malachi Flynn. So if Emmanuel Quickly, who had these accolades in college, Emmanuel Quickly would have been gone. Period. So we wasn't going to be able to wait to pick up. We weren't going to be able to wait until the second round to pick up Quickly because even at number 34, the 34 pick was Theo Maledon by the Sixers. He's a point guard, right? So Quickly would have been gone. There's no we waiting and we don't need a crystal ball to be able to see these things. Quickly would have been gone at the point guard position for the accolades.
Wait a minute, are you saying Quickly's a point guard?
No, I'm saying now he's versatility now. Remember,
you mentioned point guard
would have been gone.
He grew up a point guard, and the only reason that he wasn't playing point guard when he was with the Wildcats, the only reason he wasn't playing point guard is because Tyrese Maxey fit the bill a little bit better.
No. Tyrese Maxey wasn't their point guard. Their point guard was Ashton Higgins. Ashton Higgins was the starting point guard. Tyrese Maxey was the 2. Quickly was the 3. And most nights they played a 3-guard rotation with 3 guards on. I saw Quickly play college, and I live in South Carolina. I go watch Gamecock games, bro. I saw Quickly in person. Right, I knew Quickly was an NBA player, and I knew Quickly is a combo guard, right? And as a matter of fact, John Calipari before the season got shut down, John Calipari named Emmanuel Quickly the starting point guard, but as soon as he did that, the NCAA canceled the season.
Yeah, it wasn't no tournament.
Right, right. Right.
Okay.
And so
my sister-in-law played for Kentucky, man, and she even talked about Quickly. And her and my
all
did. They follow him real closely, and he said if there was a tournament, Quickly would not have been drafted the way we got him at.
Quickly would have been a lottery pick.
He would have been a lottery pick.
He would have been a lottery pick if the season wouldn't have been canceled. Right? We all know that, right? But the thing I'm getting at is not about the what ifs and the hypotheticals. I'm dealing with the stuff that actually happened.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so when you mentioned that draft that Quickly was at the back half of that first round, there were a ton of point/combo guards. Right? That's the reason why Cole Anthony fell down the board. It's the reason why T.O. Maladon fell out of the first round, because they were y'all forget Tyrell Terry. Remember the skinny point guard out of Stanford?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It was a bunch of them guys at the end of the first round.
That's why you mentioned.
Did you know it though, Freezy? Did it ever dawn on any of us that maybe they got the guy they wanted?
Yeah.
That could very well just
but
be
let's
it.
not
They
act
wanted
like
Quickly.
Bane. Let's not act like we ain't see what Bane do though. Even in the playoffs, he took Golden State to the brink. That kid could play.
Right.
Yeah, but we got that he can play.
And that's what Freezy's saying.
The
As
point
it
behind the
played out,
Desmond
he's
Bane
saying,
idea that came up was we weren't looking for Desmond Bane's position. So everyone's basing this.
Exactly.
We would rather have Desmond Bane based off of what they see him doing now.
But that's
not
his
based off
point,
of what
though.
he was looking at when he was drafted.
But that's his point on saying that. Now that we see how it panned out as far as the players, right, Freezy?
Right.
He's saying, do we still think that we took the right player? Because some players pick the same player that they already may not need a guard, and they'll still draft him for that same reason and do better in the draft. You know what I mean? We were talking
I'll
about
say this. I'm a
OKC.
divine intervention kind of guy. I think what we did and what we needed with drafting Quickly is right where it's at, because he's a utility guard. If we need him to play the point guard, regardless of whether he's a trigger happy guard, he can control the ball. We like that's not nothing new. When we look like, oh, he's drafting and he's gonna be the point guard. That's the only position he's gonna play. Like I personally, if I'm drafting utility. I'm drafting a guy that if somebody else gets hurt at the 2 or if somebody gets hurt at the 1, I can plug in this guy that holds both positions available. It just so happens that now this season, it's a possibility that we can keep him as a point guard. If we don't do nothing else, no trade acquisitions, no nothing else, we can say all of us will be satisfied in saying, you know what? This Quickly kid might be something and we can keep him here. He could potentially even start for this team outside of Derrick Rose blowing his knee out again. So nobody's complaining about that, especially with the amount of production that Emmanuel Quickly gave us towards the end of the season. So all I'm saying is we can't undervalue just as much as everyone always overvalues when we're dealing with these ideas of draft picks.
Hey, Evergreen, I'm going to tell you, man, I
You're
told
a big
people
player,
yesterday,
Evergreen.
take a look. If they hadn't had a chance to look at that open run with Quickly, because they were using a shot clock and everything. And watching Quickly out there, Quickly wasn't playing that game like it was just a regular little pickup game. That guy was out there playing like he was running the offense. That's what I was looking at. I was like, okay, you carrying over what you was doing them last few weeks right now, and you carrying that right over into this pickup game with these NBA players. And that's why I say, hey, if we don't get Jaden Ivey, man, like I said, I'm all cool with, hey, letting Quickly take them reins, start the season out, and hopefully Deuce can continue to grow, and he can be the backup and let this thing continue to grow the right way, man. Don't skip no more steps.
But yo, Ron, you know what's crazy to me? Tibbs made Quickly into a point guard somewhat, right?
Yeah.
And he said that Burks was the best that he had at point.
He needed to
Best
be
option.
fired for that statement. That's fireable offense.
No, but that's my point. Like, he was Quickly that bad at the point. Like, we seen it watching him when we seen players open. He didn't make the play. I started to feel like sometimes Cam was open wide in the corner, and I felt like he just didn't want to give him the ball. I couldn't
I felt
understand.
that too. I ain't going in front. I felt that too.
Selfish.
And I know y'all all see that because we watched the game that way, right?
Early on, it wasn't until later on in the season where he was trying to pass it to him.
Yeah, so I feel like, a point guard on our team has got to be a player who's going to make the play right away to the open man, because we don't have a team that has a lot of superstar power on it. We got to be more of a, play together, more of a great team, and then guys can grow that way. And Quickly, to me, looked like he's caught up in the middle of being a shooting guard, trying to be a point guard. When you see him, he could have made a pass and he just take a deep three that's way out. Granted, I see him coming off the bench, giving us energy and playing freely. He could be a good player. You know what I mean? He needs to be comfortable. And that was my problem with him. He didn't never look like, he was under too much pressure.
Well, I think Quickly thing is he had a point to prove to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was trying to prove to everybody that he belonged.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought he was trying to do.
And he's right for that, because it was dudes that was playing over him that shouldn't have been, like Burt, for example, that I mentioned, and that's all because of Thibodeau.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if these guys are here and you making them, you making them this even from the season before, how they play for you, everybody mentioned it, then he should have been playing. And then next season, like I said yesterday on the show, even Ron brought it up again, that he would be better just as well as Obi and different players.
Oh, yeah.
If they would have had more experience from that season that we make the play in.
Right.
So we can't expect him to come in and be a great starting point guard. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you this how I will,
like
because I remember this season, and Freeze, you remember me coming on. I said, man, I'm ready to get I'm ready to get IQ up out of here. But as the season continued to go on, I remember saying this just verbatim. I said, he's starting to make me a believer.
Right.
Because I saw the guy changing. He wasn't taking them dumb shots like he was doing the first year, ill-advised shots, and he was doing early on in this season.
Right.
But as the last 2 weeks, I can't deny what I saw, regardless of the competition, regardless of what the time of the season is, because people like to say, oh, it's just April. Man, them guys still playing for their NBA career. Some of them guys playing to be on the team next year. So,
hey, Ron,
yeah.
but here's the thing about Quickly, though. The thing about Quickly is Emmanuel Quickly in college, when we watched him at Kentucky, his best skill was not free throw shooting or passing or three-point shooting. His best skill was leadership, right? When Kentucky would be down 8, say with 4 minutes left to go in a game, he was a dude that would grab Maxey and was like, no, stop breaking off these plays, run the play like we call it.
That's why he was
you saw that with us. Remember when Tibbs shouted him out, saying he was the hardest working one? And staying after practice and coming in early and all that.
That's what he was doing at Kentucky.
Trying to follow Quickly.
On Wildcat Radio, they said the equipment man had to make sure before he turned off all the lights in the gym that they did a Quickly check to make sure Quickly wasn't in the gym somewhere hiding to set the alarms off. So when they shut down the gym for the night, Quickly would be in there. They had to make sure Emmanuel Quickly was out of the building because they knew everybody else was gone, but they had to make sure Quickly wasn't in there.
And don't forget the guys who done gave the stamp on Quickly. Think about that too. Dame Lillard gave the man the stamp of approval. You know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard gave him the stamp.
Right.
A lot of these guys, man, been talking to Quickly.
Right.
So I'm not knocking. Dame just mentioned him. Dame just mentioned him in a new song that he got. You know what I'm saying? You can look throughout college. It might has never been a 6-man SEC player. It might not have been no player throughout college ball was ever conference player of the year that came off the bench.
Yep.
And that dude did that. You know what I'm saying? But if you believe in something, you got to have faith in something and you got to stick with it.
Right.
This is the 3rd year Quickly here. I was all up and down every show on Knicks Fan TV. This right here, I promoted that. Give him them keys.
Right.
And here we are 3 years ago. We still talking about can we, you know what I'm saying, make him into a point guard. You can't know if somebody can't be something until you try them to see if they fail. We never give this dude the opportunity to make it or to fail. So once he came in and he snatched Frank position, he snatched Elfrid Payton in position. Can you imagine if we would have stuck with that dude during that time? What he'd be looking like
He'd be ready. He'd be
going
ready
into this season now.
Hey, I'm
We don't
just say
stick
this,
to the
I just
script.
want to say this one real quick thing, man, before I got to get out of here, man. But I just want to say this to everybody. Yo, Quickly has flaws, right? And every NBA player has flaws. Quickly has some, right? But what we need to do is look at Quickly as a playmaker and not a point guard, right? And in today's NBA, like for instance, the Golden State Warriors are about to win the NBA title, right? And I hear a lot of people say Steph Curry is not a point guard, but he's labeled as that, right? And I'm not calling Quickly Steph Curry, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is in today's NBA, Uncle Freezy, don't believe that you define a player by a title anymore, right? Because when you watch certain players, when you watch Jason Tatum the other night, you didn't see a small forward in the vein of a Dominique Wilkins or Alex English, right? Nowadays, when you watch Steph Curry is not a John Stockton. Steph Curry was more of a Mark Price, for those that remember Mark Price, or a Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, for those that remember
the first Steph Curry.
Abdul Rahim.
Was that dude?
I got a question for you, Freezy. With that being said,
Freezy frozen? Yeah, he leaning to the side.
Well, I got a question for all of you guys. Can you plug Victor Oladipo onto the one?
I like Victor, but Office Depot can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
I
don't trust him.
Healthy Victor Oladipo. Can you plug him into the one?
I mean,
To me, he's like a Zach LaVine type, minus the athleticism.
You could, but it's too much of a what if regarding his health. So I guess if he was healthy and consistent on that end, sure, why not? He would probably be closer to your best player on the team. He has some playmaking ability. He's primarily a scorer, but again, it's the health thing. It's no different than if we went out and brought in a Malcolm Brogdon. If Malcolm Brogdon is healthy, he's a problem. But I can't bank on anything else other than the fact of the evidence or what's in front of me that he's not healthy.
Yeah,
but would I consider Oladipo? Sure, but he's not healthy. So,
No, I'm not saying Victor Oladipo as a player. I'm talking about somebody of his skill set. Can you put him in at the one?
Hey, Don P, I'm gonna help you out with that.
Okay.
And not just Oladipo. It's a lot of these so-called what they call PG point guards in the league today are being saved with their name. A lot of these dudes cannot stand to see a dude like Patrick Beverly pick them up full court for a whole game. A lot of them want to bring the ball up court with nobody in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these dudes, like you talking about Oladipo, no. It's a lot more of them type guys that can't stand with somebody in front of them with that lockdown sense account type D. They scared.
And see, this is why I asked the question, because reality, we always talk about context.
Yeah.
There has to be some type of prerequisite when we're choosing for positions like the point guard or the center. Like, we can't have a center, he can't rebound. What is that? We can't have a point guard and he can't pass. What is that? I asked the question about Alec Burks being at the one, and why we had an issue with that is because at the very least we need somebody who can facilitate. And if we're just asking for anybody to play at a point guard spot because he can score or because he's a dog, then what are we talking about here? We could plug anybody at the one spot if that's the case.
I didn't have a problem with them putting Burks at the point. I had a problem with them putting Burks at the point and not going back to quickly when they had already gave him point guard, you know what I'm saying, duties. That's the problem I had. I know Burks is a facility guy, a utility guy. You need those type guys. But that's the only problem I had with him.
My problem with the whole deal was the fact that with Burks, I'm like, okay, why you come in with Burks to start after these guys got hurt when you already told us Burks wasn't your guy last year when we was having point guard problem with EP when we was on that roller coaster ride. So why now you feel the need to run Burks out here and have Burks being the starting point guard? That didn't make any sense to me.
My problem with it was simply Tom Thibodeau's philosophy and sort of the disingenuousness that existed there. His whole philosophy is at the point guard position. It's built on what? 2 feet in the paint. Alec Burks is one of the worst players at getting into the paint. So I didn't quite understand his whole rhetoric of I'm going to put Alec Burks here when, as an organization, listen, if you're not winning a championship, if you're not getting into championship contention, then you need to figure out what you have on your roster. You need to evaluate what you have on your roster. And either they are keepers or they're trade assets. And we didn't learn anything about the position of IQ and Obi and, other younger players where we could have turned them into trade assets like you're supposed to as a good NBA organization and be able to make moves. Listen, if we played IQ the way that we needed to figure out if he's the guy or not the guy, if he's the guy, then we keep him. If he's not the guy, then he becomes a trade asset that we use to trade up to like a Sacramento at the number 4 pick since you want to win all these games and not get into the lottery. That's my frustration with this front office. That's my frustration with the organization top down. It's just that you haven't learned anything. And we're still here as a panel, as a consensus Knicks fan, still asking questions about who's what and who does what and who does this. And it's just frustrating. So we do this every single day where we come on and we talk extensively about, maybe we should keep RJ Barrett, or RJ Barrett doesn't shoot well, or who's Cam Reddish because he ain't got no motor. Well, I'm not about talking about a guy's motor. I don't know. It's just all over the place. And we haven't had, I'm telling you, Kofizi, there's nothing more that pisses me off than unanswered questions. You either know or you don't know. That's it.
Hey, well, I'm getting ready to jump off. Hey, Evergreen.
I'm great to jump off.
Evergreen.
Peace, I'm here.
Hey, Evergreen. Hey, you know it's on the stove, right?
Oh, I hear you.
You know it's on the stove. You know I must be cooking something up, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm getting ready to come,
quiet.
right?
You've been quiet with me the last few months. You've been kind of quiet.
You know something. Hey, I'm waiting on Sam to act like he want to act right, act like he want to put the papers together so I can come tear the stage down.
Hey, listen. This all I'm gonna say about that is, first and foremost, are you coming up here for the draft party?
Yes,
I'm thinking about it.
Yes.
You think? Yeah. See, that mean no, because you supposed to have that decided. That's supposed you supposed to have that. Hold on. Let me.
But see, I'm like that thing that come in that blue box of your favorite strawberries. I'm like a pot top. I pop up.
Evergreen, I'm in there, bro. I'm gonna see you, Evergreen. I'm pulling up, bro.
Listen, I literally I know y'all can see that, but my office is right down the block. Y'all see Ocean right there. My office is right down the block from the flagship. All right. So I'm there. You know I'm there now.
I got a composition. I got a composition notebook with some words in it.
Back in the book.
But listen,
you silly boy.
With that being said, I need everybody to know, y'all don't know this, but I'm the unofficial J Boogie. He gives me the stamp of approval first. So any music y'all have heard over the last year, it came through Evergreen G's ears first. Am I lying about that, J Boogie?
Channels.
Nah, he's not lying, man. He's not lying.
It comes listen, as the unofficial musician, if you will, of the MBK Florence Tears Network, if you will.
Them.
Right, I get the first stamp of approval of all music. You know what I'm saying? So Jay Boogie been quiet for the last few months.
Hey, he ain't telling
head
y'all.
like-
He ain't telling y'all why I've been quiet. You know, he got me get ready to do a Nas lost tape type thing. He ain't telling y'all he threw some of my joints back, said throw it back down.
Hey, Evergreen, all I'm saying is I'm getting charged with 4 felonies for what I do to an ink pen.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
This guy, what
that's
you just break?
That's all I'm
you
saying.
break the ink, you break the ink pen and then you eat the paper. Is that what you do?
Don't get ink poisoning.
Okay. Hey, but listen, I gotta get out of here, man. Get me some sleep, man. I've been up all night, man. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate all you brothers.
Shout
We'll
out to
be back
everybody,
tomorrow.
man. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, man.
Shout
Same
out.
back time, same
No
back channel.
doubt.
We'll
Yo,
holler at y'all later,
salute.
y'all.
Blessings to y'all all, yo.
All right,